tour.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. How are we doing? Listen, very tragic news today with everything going on. We're not going to talk about that on this show, but I thought, you know what? Wasn't really tired, couldn't fall asleep. Try and find anything on TV or YouTube. It's all dominated by the tragic events earlier. So I thought, you know what? It's all doom and gloom and sadness, and the world's a messed up place right now. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I do a last minute impromptu late night Lilywhite where we can chill and have some fun together, whether it be talking about Spurs, whether it be talking about the internationals, whether it be talking about life in general, whether it be anything, just to get away from the evil world we live in and just be together and have some fun. So I don't know how many people are going to join. I don't know how many people will join. Like I said, just wanted to spend some time with you guys and get away from the horrific world we live in. So, like I said, don't know how many will join, don't know how long it'll be going for, but hey ho, let's do it. Big up Rick Kane. I hope you're good, brother. I haven't checked him out yet. I've had people sending it. I've had people sending me things. I do need to check him out, but I will do. We've got Ali, Musa Ali. I just don't think you understand. Hope you're good, buddy. How sweet of you. Have a good night's sleep, buddy. Have a good night's sleep. Yeah, mate. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It's a shock, isn't it? This Nottingham Forest rivalry won't go away and won't get spicier. I can believe it and I can't believe it. It's mad. It's mad. And the fact that he's taken ex-Spurs coaches with him, and I've seen his first interview that he's done, which Nottingham Forest released on YouTube, and he's going, yeah, when we played them last year, I could see they were a team together. They were a team with determination and team with... I was like, well, yeah, that's because half the team weren't ripped out with injuries. They were going for Champions League and they were flying. What do you expect? The reason we were 17th was injuries, playing the same way every time, every team knowing how to play against us and getting beaten by Leicester and Everton back-to-back and Tamworth in the FA Cup. What more was you expect? Hi, Don the Mod. I hope you're good and well. Spurs Patriots, I hope you're good and well, mate. Big up, Brian. So well, Ange. Maybe may you do well, except against Spurs. Yeah, listen, my thing with I've got expressions went nuts. Expressions went nuts. He's gone to war with Forest. Do you know what? I don't really care. I hope he wins on Saturday against the Filth. I don't care. Listen, he's a legend. I always deem Spurs Patriots that anyone who has won a trophy for Tottenham Hotspur goes down as a legend in my books. Other people might not feel the same way, but I deem, especially in the recent history where trophies have been few and far between, you win a trophy at this club, you are a legend, regardless. And he will be a legend for me. But it was the right time to go. PMP 017. I'm a motherfucking PIMP. You haven't got the I, obviously, but that's the word. That's the song that came. And no worries, brother. Like I said, it's times like this. You know what it is? Tottenham on Tour and all other YouTube channels that grow a community, grow something together. We may not meet each other face to face. We may not live in the same country. May not. Like I said, PMP. I could walk past you, and I wouldn't know you, but you'd obviously recognise me. But it's all about being a community. It's all about being together and building something. And I just thought tonight, after everything that's gone on in the world, I thought, you know what? I'm sure there's people like me that were just sitting at home or at work thinking the news is disgusting and everything. Let's have some. And I thought, you know what? Let's just do something together and have some fun and be together rather than watching news, YouTube, Twitter, or whatever social media platform. Just check. I'll mention it now because you asked me. So just go check American Charlie Kirk, whether you liked him or not, was at doing a talk at a university in Utah, and he got shot in the neck and passed away this evening. Don't want to get into politics, or we don't do that on this channel or anything. It's just the world is a horrible, horrible place right now. And you know what? Us Spurs fans and the Tottenham Tour community have got something special. So I thought, let's get away from that. I love Ange, but I hate Marinakis. So I want them to get relegated. Mate, I'm with you. I'm with you. I was saying, do we have to call Big Ange Little Ange now? Because next to Marinakis, he's definitely Little Ange, isn't he? There's nothing big about him when you put him next to Marinakis. Look, like I said just before Don the Mod, I would always be in debt to Ange Postecoglou. The greatest moment I got is my dad tried to call me with my nephews, his grandkids, the twins, who had just turned 13. They'd never seen Spurs win a trophy, and they've really, really got into Spurs over the last couple of years. They tried to call me, and I couldn't answer because I was on the train coming home. I got out of the underground, and it was my mum filming my dad and my nephews, and my nephews were crying because it was the first time they'd seen Spurs lift a trophy. And I was like, Ange gave me that moment, and I will forever be in his debt for that moment. But I don't want Forest to do well. I really don't. Big weekend coming up. Super good. Oh, mate, I can't wait. And if people saw, I don't know if people saw the Xavi Simons first day of training. He looked good. I mean, obviously, it's just a training session. Some of his touches are just so silky. I can't wait to see him play. I can't wait. Yeah. Well, do you know what? There's so many. I've looked on Wolfies and I've looked on Nottingham Forest things. And there's so many people saying, I did support Spurs, but now you've got Ange, I support Forest and blah, blah. It's madness. It is madness. But yeah, let's wait and see. I mean, did you see that tweet that yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday a tweet came out and it simply said, the Ange curse is large already. He's been at Forest a few hours, and his the Nigerian winger Ani, I can't remember how you pronounce his name, had to leave in the first half with a hamstring injury. Make of it what you will. I think he'll end up at West Ham, mate. I think he'll end up at West Ham. And you know what? I've seen from a lot of Forest fans, they said, listen, you when you called out Marinakis, it was only going to win one way. But there's so many Forest fans that go, thank God he's gone. I'm like, thank God he's gone. He took you from saving you from relegation to almost Champions League. It's madness. Hola from Spain. Big up Catalana 094. Big up to you. COYS, Angie out, Levy out. Xmas is now Xmas. Jim, you're so right. I'm still glowing. I still glow. Mate, can you imagine, Shay? We now get him. And if they go down, well, let's just have some fun. He'll be half the price because there's no relegation. They haven't put any release fees in it, and they won't be able to demand the whole price. Didn't really want to bring this up, but a few days ago I started to plan to go to the States. But yeah, do you know what, Don the Mod? Listen, I don't really want to speak politics or anything about it, but I know what you're saying. I'm going back home to London in what? I fly in 10 days. I land in 11. London ain't the best at the moment. England is. The world is just a dark, dark place, man. It really is. But whilst we're here together, we can be the light. We can be the light for each other. He is going to be undercover. 3:30 in the UK, sitting in my lorry on break, watching you. Oh, big up to you, brother. Big up to you, Mark. Hope you're having a good shift driving. Score predictions for the West Ham game. I'm going 3-1 Tottenham. Kudus. This might be just daydreaming. Kudus, Mawani, and Simmons. But I think that is just a pipe dream. I stand by the score. I think the scorers might be different. Big up Matthew Spencer. I hope you're good. I'm an Aussie, and there isn't a chance in hell I'll be going to support Sport. Blake, fair play. Listen, fair. What I will say when we're going on about this, obviously, and I've mentioned this loads of times, and listen, it has been a problem. Some Australian Ange fans and some Ange fans, like diehard Ange fans from around the world, it has been brutal. It has been brutal, but people have got to remember there were many people that supported Tottenham from Australia well before Ange was even mentioned. Like for years, I know Australian. I've got Australian friends that were supporting them before I was even born. So it's Blake, welcome to the show, buddy. Massive action for us at Brentford away, then off to the Allianz. Yeah, mate. I mean, do you know what? I looked at the fixture list because I was just talking. I can't remember who I was talking with. But in December, we've got Brentford twice. I know at Christmas they tried to keep the fixtures within London or within Liverpool or Manchester, so the fans aren't travelling so much. I just found it weird. Those Javiers were, oh, mate, they really did, didn't they? He looked so silky. You reckon? But I can't see it. Looks like I've heard it mentioned, but I just can't see it. I think it's got Nuno written all over it. But you never say never in football. Charlie Vale, big up to you, brother. I hope you're good and well, my friend. Liran, I must admit, I speak to Liran now on WhatsApp, and as soon as I put the tweet out saying, shall I do a last-minute late night Lilywhite, I got a WhatsApp straight away that just went, do it. And I was like, well, here we are. Yeah, Joe, I just can't see Forest playing the high line. I just can't see Forest playing the high line at all. Oh, sorry, I can see them playing it. Their defence just won't be able to handle it. It's going to be interesting, but is this going to be the time where Ange changes? Who knows? But I think the injuries are going to come. Hopefully, Ange particularly wins. Yeah, listen. What I will say, I hope he beats the filth, but he took 1 point out of 12 for us. So I'll tell you what, honestly, I was there for that 1 point in his first North London derby. We should have won it. We were much the better team. And if it weren't for that deflected own goal and the penalty, we should have had that wrapped up. We should have had that wrapped up. Nuno is actually my neighbour. Oh, really? Well, there you go. There you go. Do you know what? He wasn't given a fair chance at Tottenham, but it was never going to work. The 75 days and then the way we played, I liked what he did at Wolves. Big up, Jack. We keep meaning to talk, buddy. I've been absolutely ramo, but hopefully you're free for, what is today? Yeah, I'm looking. Thursday or Friday. Let's talk. Let's talk, brother. Big up, Alex, buddy. I hope you're good and well. You want to come on? Jack, do you want to come on? Do you want to come on and help me go through the comments, brother? If you do, send me a WhatsApp. Send me a WhatsApp and say, send me the link and I'll send it to you. We'll get you on. Brian, your nephews probably know this, but the new FIFA ranking, they keep talking to me about FIFA. Yeah, honestly, they can't stop playing FIFA. They've got so into football, Spurs Patriots, so into it that I'm going to be playing with it a lot. But I'm woeful. I used to play FIFA on the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. No, 1 and 2, maybe 3. But I haven't. I played it around. If people know Bobby K, very dear friend of mine that goes on streams. I played his son, and his son absolutely walloped me, and I mean walloped me. He even did it where only his goalkeeper can score, and he still walloped me. It's quite embarrassing. It was raining. Yeah, it was. It was. The weather has chopped and changed in London. 5-1. Big up, Ethan, brother. Big up, buddy. I hope you're good. Mr. 57 Screens. How are we doing? I'm good, brother. I hope you're well. 4-0 to... Mate, I hope so. 2-1 Spurs. I've been Tottenham through and through since 2014 when I first lived. Big up to you, Blake. I have to spend the next hour picking up the kids. Late Night Lilywhite will make it. Big up, Scott M. I await your customary message at some point. Oh, mate, could you imagine? Matthew, can you imagine how he is feeling right now? How he is feeling right now must be absolutely awful. I mean, he did it. Obviously, he praised Nuno. He must be thinking, what the hell is going on now? And Matthew Yates or Ryan Yates, let's bring this up. I've got to show this because it did make me laugh. Major flashbacks of see if you. I don't know if you have seen this, guys, but let me share it. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Let me just share the screen. Let me just share the screen. Twitter. Here we go. Let's see how big it is and see if you can see it. Yeah. So basically, he has said it was brilliant. You can feel the standards and demands already. It was tough and intense first session, but it's what we needed. We are all excited about what the future holds. That's from the Nottingham Forest captain, Ryan Yates. I'm like, oh yeah. Where have I heard this? Where have I heard this before? Where have I heard this before? I'd like to see what Ryan Yates says around Christmas time. Let's see what Ryan Yates has to say Christmas time. If Van der Romero keep fit and we play our new warrior in the 6 and Benter or Sarr, if he plays more D, we'll fly out with the front. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the game. I cannot wait for this game. Forest got players for Nuno, but do you know what? Don the Mod, you can look at it that way, or you can look at it. Was he listening to Ange and getting players ready in for Ange? Was it already happening? Been dreading the idea of Ange to Forest since the MGW. We always win. Makes me think this is big time, and he will win again in his second season. He'll win the championship, as in relegated and come back up. I'm off work Friday. I'm off of work on Friday. My favorite video game just out. There we go. So we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. Thing is, we finished 17th, and EA didn't rate us. Harry Kane was 89 throughout his Spurs career. He moves to yeah. Listen, it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Forest get relegated and then promoted next year via the exactly. This as well. This as well. Lisa, good evening to you, darling. I hope you're good and well. Chris, good evening to you, buddy. I hope you're good and well. Spurs Patriots. Edge was probably told by maybe. Spurs Patriots. You know what? Maybe you're going a bit. You're going a bit deep. Let's get. Do you know what? Let's get 1 second. All right, I'm going to bring Jack and Liran on. I'm going to bring 2 people on. All right, 1 sec. 2 people that haven't met each other. I've only spoken to Jack on the phone. But do you know what? This is a weird impromptu last minute. Let's get a couple of guests on. So, Jack, paste. You've got the link. Liran, you've got the... There you go. So you've both got the links. We're going to have a couple of guests. We'll go through the chat together. We'll have some fun. Where were we? Thoughts on Barty Gaze, I am 100% bought into it. 100% bought into it. Now, I know firsthand that Kane said he would not come back if, or when I say first, sorry, Kane didn't tell me, but I got it from a very, very reliable person that he wouldn't come if Daniel Levy was in sole control after all the antics of gentleman's agreement, the whole ordeal, getting out of the club. I was like, I'm not coming back if he's in sole control. Well, him and Donna are gone. Let's see. I think Spurs will make a genuine push for him. Exactly, Ethan. Exactly. I hope they keep Ange long and not sack him soon. Yep. No. He just doesn't change. I mean, the hamstring issues and injury issues were also a problem at Celtic. So that's where we are. Forest by quantity, not quality. The only guy I rate, mate, do you know what? Hope I actually, to give them credit, I actually really rate the guy they signed from Ipswich, Amari Hutchinson. I think he is a top quality player. Okay, 1 second. Bring in Jack. What's up, Jack, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Daigle, how are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing very well, my man. Just have the news on in the background. Been reading up all day today on some Tottenham news.
Exactly. You on your phone, Jack?
Yes, sir.
Turn it the other way around. So it flip. There we go. You're the same, sir. Jack and I have had one phone call. And do you know what? It's good to put a name to the face because this is the guy that's always subbed to Tottenham on tour for Brian Daigle. It's good to see your face, Jack. It's good to see your face. And welcome to the channel. It is
an honor and a privilege to have that name.
It is, buddy. So we'll just go through the comments together and have our thoughts because we're going to make it an inclusive show. So did you see I always say India Color post about the PSG owners? Have you seen it, Jack?
I have not seen that.
Okay, let's get my sharing tool up because I have seen it. Now, there's two ways of looking at this. Where is it? Here it is. So let me share the screen. I might have to zoom in a bit on this one. So let's have a look. Let's have a looky look. There we go. So it reads, exclusive. We understand PSG president Nasser Al Khalifi has made inquiries on the current ownership situation at Spurs. Paris Saint-Germain owners Qatar Sports Investment are eyeing a minority stake in Spurs. The information is from a well-placed source in Qatar. So, what I have to say to this, P, was be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is he is very, 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 very close with Daniel Levy. And you could just see him buying it and then going, guess what? Daniel, there you go, back on the board. And also, this multi-club ownership, I don't think you can have it both in the Champions League at the same time, like what happened to Palace. I'd love him, but I'd love him to. But it wouldn't it worry you, Jack, about the possibility of Levy return? Could you just imagine that we do all this stuff to get him out, and then he comes back with the PSG owners?
Absolutely. And I don't really see where PSG owners could be any part involved in any of this.
Yep.
In my personal opinion, I think it's either going to come from one of two places: Saudi or America. Someone from there is going to step in, and it just, I don't see it a possibility for Levy to even come back. Why would he want to in the first place? The only thing, and I know we've discussed this, is ego and pride, but he's out. I don't think there's any shooting chance that he comes back at all.
Exactly. Well, do you know what? Our third guest has joined. So I'm going to meet him properly for the first time. You're going to meet him probably for the first time. the community is going to reach him for the first time. Liran, how are you, buddy?
Hey, big up, Brian. Good,
Big
good.
up.
How are you doing?
Big up to you. Everyone give Jack and Liran some love. We're just going to do what we do normally and just go through the comments, and we'll talk it one by one. And funnily enough, Liran, I don't know how this worked, but we're answering your own comment. So you can answer your own question. Agree, if Ange would be more adaptable, it'd be class. But now, but he's now over. Yeah, he's not changing, is he?
Yeah, I saw some other person. Sorry, I forgot his name, commenting that. But if Ange was as adaptable as he was, I think it was in the semis of the Europa League. I'm not sure. Correct me, please. Then he would be a top class manager. But he was so stubborn. Remember when we were down 2 men and he still played a high line and we just got rammed?
Yep.
So again, fun, beautiful game tactics, but we cannot win the league or even barely being not relegated, being 17, if we are not playing defense in the Premier League. So
exactly. Jack, what's your thoughts on it, buddy? What's your thoughts on Ange overall and being at Forest?
Listen, I think Ange did his job here. He got exactly what we needed at Tottenham. He got us a trophy, and that's exactly why I think we're in the position that we're in. So we got to give him credit where credit's due. At the same token, I agree. We're never going to win a Premier League with Ange as any coach for any team. It is just way too much pace, way too much on the players, and it's not sustainable. I tend to think of why he left Celtic and why he left all these other clubs after 2, 3 years, and they're very successful years, right?
Yep.
Injuries and just the amount of pressure it puts on a player to play like that week in and week out, especially with 4 different competitions. So,
Right.
listen, I think it's a good news for us. That means Morgan Gibbs White possibly coming to Tottenham.
Well,
I
you know
think
what?
that's a huge thing about that.
If I get Frank in, Levy out, Ange to Forest, and MGW to Tottenham, life is complete. Life is
just happened,
mate. I'm going to manifest, but I don't want Scott M talking to me about transfers, and I'm going to try. I manifested. I think I went over to the top. I'm going to just let it be. But good morning to you in Hong Kong, Eva, and good morning to you, Skyle. Ryan Yates won't be saying anything other than he will be nursing his. Yeah, I mean, the hamstrings are going to come. And it's going to come. Is there a way both teams can lose on Saturday? If only. If only. I mean, I think we all want Forest to win this game. But let's face it, I don't think they do. And then, and remember with all the 10 games unbeaten and blah, 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 blah. Well, he'll lose his first game. So we'll see what happens. But let's see what the next one is. When Ange came to Tottenham, I loved Ange, but Thomas Frank's our new manager, so I don't get why Ange supporters are, mate. Honestly, why Ange supporters are hating on Frank. Maybe they can't, mate. Do you know what? And I am going to say this now because I saved all of them. When we hired Frank, so many fans came at me and sent me a screenshot of Ange's results against Brentford, and he drew the first one and won the last three, and won the next three. When we beat them in December, every single one of them, because I've saved them all, are going to get a tweet with just a scoreline from that game and say, "What now? What now?" What do you guys think about this? I'll go to you first, Jack. There's been so many people. Which is sad, in all honesty. Rather than attacking, I kept saying to people, why are you attacking the new manager? He's done nothing wrong apart from do very well at his job and got a job. If you want to blame someone, blame the man that's left. But there are so many, even after the Bournemouth game, going mad at Frank. It's just mad, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think people understood where Thomas Frank came from. And they were looking at it from a side of being a Brentford squad that's been mid-table for most of it, and they weren't seeing the different tactical outlooks that he had and the different things that he has done throughout a Brentford team that was in the championship
Yep.
for a while and now is a certified Premier League team that has been in there for years.
You're right.
And I think we got used to getting the Contes, the Mourinhos, all those big name coaches where we got this guy who's mid-table and people were upset because we're supposed to go to bigger and better things. We just won the Europa League. But there's a vision behind him. And you were one of those people who helped sold me on the vision that he had.
Yes.
And that if we could play different ways tactically, if we can go into games in different ways,
Mhm.
who knows where this team can go.
You're right. You're spot on.
If
What's
you-
your thoughts, Liram?
So if you look at spending versus accomplishment for Ange or even Conte or Mourinho or whatever, and Frank, this is where I get hyped and excited because he didn't have the budget, and actually from a team that just got promoted like years ago, like after being in the Prem and then back to Championship and then promoted. And also another thing, Frank is really improving players and players that are not like stars. And
Mhm.
I mean, other coaches, let's say Conte, Mourinho, they are not like. I mean, I don't want to bring Arteta into the discussion like project, right? But
Yeah.
I actually want a project. Yes, I want here and now, but I want a balance, and I want a like someone who can really improve their players. Again, see my name here on the chat. Tell is shit. Basically, if he can improve Tell, I know he like scored 2 bangers like a couple of days ago for the under 21, but if he can do that, I'm freaking sold. So
There we go. There you go. Citrus Ball, big up to you, buddy. I hope you're good and well. All good, Soccer 10.9. Do you think we've done this, but we'll do it very quickly as a quick answer. Do you think Ange will adapt to the players and do well? No and no. Jack?
Yeah, same thing. No and no.
Liran, full house?
sorry, what was the question?
Do you think Ange will adapt to the players and do well?
I think he will adapt to the players. He will not adapt to the game, opponent, or anything else. So
There you go. That's a fair answer. Ange will adapt when Mr. Marek has his family chained up in the basement.
talking
He-
about
he's-
Marinakis,
He's an evil
The
guy.
only-
He's an evil guy.
the only thing that I'm kind of like, I actually don't think, sorry, Brian, that Mervyn Gibbs White is going to come in January or at all. Because
Summer. So he ain't coming in January.
Even in summer, like he's in shackles in the basement of Marinakis, like penthouse right now. Basement
Well-
of the penthouse is kind of interesting, but yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Ange was a mere gaffer, but fun on the mic. Honestly, I'll go to Liran next, but I'll tell you what, Nate, for the last 3 months of his management, whenever he did I didn't watch the press conferences, but whenever he did interviews on Match of the Day or Sky or whatever, I just put it on mute. I couldn't listen to it anymore. I just could not listen to it anymore. But now I can sit back and listen to it all day because it don't affect me in the slightest. What about you, Liran?
Sorry, I'm like looking at the video of my baby crying. So what was the question?
That's
This is
more
why I'm
important.
kinda like,
That's more important. You're
Yeah.
multitasking. You're proving that men can.
I am
You're proving that they
now
can't
on my
multitask.
Nanit cam right now.
So
What
the
was the
question,
question again? Sorry.
what Nate said was Ange was a meh gaffer, but fun on the mic.
So for us, so I think he was literally like, I was waiting, like counting the days to the game, not only for the game, but for the follow-up press conference because of his catchphrase and second
Yep.
season and third season, whatnot. I think Meg Gaffer, long term, yes, this is why we sacked him, and I fully behind it. However, he freaking got a chip off our shoulder of
Yep.
winning something. And then my conversation with like Sibo and my friends here from Austin that are Gunners, I'm delighted that we got a major trophy. So I'm 50-50 on that.
Okay.
But fully behind not keeping him.
There you go. Jack?
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad gaffer. I just don't think there's any player system that will fit him. And and to the part of him being fun on the mic, I just remember like sitting and listening to his press conferences, just being upset because he wouldn't take any accountability for what was
Yep.
happening and how his system wasn't working and he couldn't change it. So I think that yeah, you need to take some accountability with that. You need to be able to say, listen, I can't be running these guys so much. I'm the reason why I'm causing these injuries. So that's what I think on that.
It-
Talking
it-
about like running these guys, like us just adding more and more competition, like the Club World Cup, which my friend Davey here, he's a Chelsea fan. And he's like, "Oh, we're the best club in the world," which is whatever. We
it-
have to make adjustment, like more playing time, maybe increase the squad size, just to But they
yeah,
are not doing it. They just think about money, and more competition mean more tickets, mean more viewing rights, more money. But we cannot manage humans like that because it's not possible for them to sustain injuries.
you're right. You're right. Next one, and it's a beautiful moment. How good was it to see Harry Kane presenting Jed Spence with that England cap? It was so passionate and heartfelt. I don't know if the England manager normally does it or the captain always does it, but obviously he wanted to do it. Former Spur and soon to be re-Spur, if you can call it something. Jack, how
Brian,
good was
can you
how,
play that video?
sorry, right?
Maybe
Sorry,
can you maybe play that
I
video?
can't. We'll get
Harry
copyrighted. When I played
because
that,
of
when I
copyright.
played that, when I played, by the way, when I played that video of the celebrate that Levy's gone, yeah, let's just say Ben Kaufman wasn't happy with me the next day. So I can't because we can't do it that way. But it was just it was a wonderful moment, wasn't it, Jack?
Yeah, absolutely. A player who much deserved it. A player who a lot of us, including myself, have counted out 2 years ago.
Yep.
And just through grit and grind, being left out of the Champions League squad and everything, has proved all of us wrong. And he deserves that moment 100%, deserves all the credit for it. He's the one who put in the hard work for it. I think he's going to be great for us. And he's going to be great for us for a number of years. Whether that's as a backup or, someone who's in the starting lineup week in and week out. Great player, definitely well deserved.
Damn right, Liran.
So for me, and I commented on this a couple of weeks ago. Remember when we didn't do well a couple of weeks ago with Poro
Bournemouth.
on the right
Yeah.
against Bournemouth, and then I called it to my friend, like I was texting, okay, get Spence in, put him on the left, get Poro out, right? Put him on the right and get Poro out, which he exactly did it, which is the definition of being adaptive to a game, which I don't know if Ange would do it, right? Well, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Spence being able to play right or left and really good defensively, specifically when we have Udogie back. So between them, so Poro, Udogie, Spence, and then even throw Ben Davies in the mix just because he's usually doing a decent job. He's not a game changer, but he's there when we have a hole. I think that we have a great fullbacks.
Well, you can also put Van der Ven there at a push and then put Stanso or Dragus in or whoever in there. With
Van der Ven left back and not center back actually could be amazing because he can drive the line, which he did. You remember the goal that he assisted when he went all the field and then he assisted. And then also, if we play a high line, he's the guy that can track back. So when we have what's his name, the Croatian
Vuskovic
coming back,
Vuskovic.
and he can maybe play center back and with Romero, and maybe Danso can be their backup with Ragusin. I don't know, like rotation, and then maybe Van der Ven can play left back. I think this is his next position.
I have to say, Scott M's coming with his traditional comment, and I have to agree with you with this one. Brian, would you agree with what most people are saying that Ben K is the Marinakis of YouTube? Well, you're so spot on. Do you know what? You've got to say that on the coffee. You've got to say that on the coffee show tomorrow. You've got to say that.
Can you please get a Scott M kind of like a mural of his different comparison of different things? Because I've seen like 4 or 5 of these, and he's cracking me up.
I would go into the chat. I could go back in the chat and get them, but he does these ones daily now.
Yeah, I see it.
They're brilliant.
And
They're
I
brilliant.
crack up out of every single one. So thank you, Scott.
Do you know what? The love I have for this man, a lot of his opinions can sometimes irritate and wind people up because he's very blunt and very sharp. But honestly, I've got nothing but love for that man. Nothing but love. Good morning, Brian and Jack. That's before Liran joined from a top man, Davey. I'm sure there'll be a big up to or good morning to Liran coming shortly. Ange will not adapt because Ange said he'll play a brand of football that his father exactly. So he ain't changing. And you know what? On that note, if anyone's in that position where they've lost a father and they want to honour his father, then it's going to be very, very hard to change. Mickey van der Ven has some loyalty towards Ange, so Spurs have to be protective with resigning. Spurs have to be protective with re-signing him if Ange survives. Yeah, listen. What I will say is there's talk with Real Madrid as well. I personally think that Mickey van der Ven will sign a new contract before Christmas. I think once Bentancur's done, he's the next one there, gets signed, sealed, delivered, and totally and utterly warranted. Liran, what's your thoughts?
When is his contract done?
Let's have a look. Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven.
He's a top player. Like I
he's incredible.
Going to like Barca, Real, easy.
Real are apparently in for him. It ends 2029. So we got good.
Imagine Romero and Van de Ven going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, not happening.
Not unheard of, but
not happening. I think Romero's signing.
Who is doing amazing.
I think Romero's signing has set a lot of Tottenham players like, right, we're staying. And I think Van der Ven, after Bentancur finally gets done, I think this is the next contract. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I actually do think it's going to have to wait a little bit for Van de Ven to get done. I think his partnership with Romero is world class. It almost reminds me very similar to when we had Vertonghen and Alderweireld together.
Yeah,
but it's a little too soon to sign him to an extension. He's not paid too high on wages, I believe either. I believe he's lower on the wage scale.
He is. Do you know what? He's earning less than Ben Davies.
Which is sad because he is an incredible player. But I remember when he first came in, people were like, "Who is this
50.
Guy?"
Currently, he's on 50.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He should get a pay raise. But I imagine he wants to stay with Romero. That partnership is just world class. No team can beat us if they're both out there together.
Well, the other thing I said about it is now Levy's gone until January. ENIC can't prove what they're going to do theoretically till the transfer window opens. But if they start signing players like Van der Ven on long-term contracts and up their wages, I'm not saying to 200, but they could easily double it, for instance. They could easily put them on 100. If they start committing and getting players on long-term contracts, that's a start and something they can make an impact in. And I think Van der Ven will be a brand new contract before Christmas.
A statement.
It would be an
absolute statement. It would show the intent that we want stars.
Correct.
Because the biggest thing that Tottenham doesn't have right now is the wage. Players do not want to come to us because we know that a certain player makes the most amount of money, and that's how much money. Below that there's a gap. And players don't want to be below that gap. They want to be at that star level. So hopefully that improves. I mean, we'll see. I don't have faith in that yet with Joe Louis and their family all there. I want to see action before I start talking about it, getting excited. But we'll see. You're
right. I mean, one thing I'm going to do one more from Dom the Mod, then I'm going to go down to the bottom because I'm already way behind the comments. So we'll skip down a lot, but I'll get your two views on this. People will know, you both will know how much I've gone on about Levy out. Every time you see everywhere for years, however long. I've got to the point now where, as much as I wanted ENIC out as well, I'm prepared to give ENIC 2 windows before I judge anything, because people are saying, "Oh, it's still Joe Louis and ENIC, it's the same thing," and I'm like, "Well, it's not the same thing, because his kids, Charlie and Vivian, are going to be a big part of it. There's no Donna Cullen. There's no Daniel Levy. So there's no micromanaging from Levy. Hopefully, from what Vinay has said, we're going to empower people. It could be jargon, but I am prepared. I can't be a hypocrite and say, right, I've wanted this for ages. I want change. I want change. And then there is change, not just with Levy, but the whole board, the management, the coaches. I am giving them the summer window up until the summer window. And if it's still the same as with Levy and it's same shit, then I'll be back on the not Levy out, it'll be Enoch out. But I think and all the hot air that you're hearing in the media, there is a takeover, there isn't a takeover. This one wants to invest up. I'm not listening to a single word of it until January. I'm going to enjoy Frank. I'm going to enjoy the football. And I am giving Enoch the January and summer window. Liran, where are you on your whole stance with Enoch and where we are right now?
So 3 things. First of all, 100%. We need at least 2 windows, at least a year of like seeing like their overall like vision. Second of all, taking a step back, whenever Xavi signed, I was very excited because I was kind of scared of Van de Ven maybe being tempted to leave in and just having a person from his own national team. Plus, Van de Ven had a great game yesterday, I think, for the Dutch team. And then the third thing, I think, what was I going to say? I actually wanted to say something unrelated, so
go on, say it. Go on, say it.
The unrelated thing is that I have a lot of people in my like close circle, like my friend Davey, who are very, very big like Chelsea fans. And whenever we got Xavi, I told him that he's gonna regret it very bad because Xavi really wanted to go there. And they just didn't have a need for Xavi with everyone that they signed. With Palmer can like be in the 10, be on the right. So I just want to call it out that Chelsea is going to regret us having Xavi. And I'm so excited seeing him against West Ham on Saturday.
Same. Jack, before I go to you, I'll just add one more thing in the mix. The filth down the road, when they protest against the Cronkies and Wenger out, blah, 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 when they boycotted a game and there was half a stadium empty, the first thing they would do was like, shit, we've got a problem here. And they brought Josh in. They brought in Kroenke's son. And all of a sudden, their transfer strategy, everything went completely the other way. And they changed completely. Not saying that that's going to happen at Tottenham, but I'm going to give it a chance. I mean, Jack, where are you on the whole subject?
I'm skeptical of what's exactly is going to happen. I'm not going to give them 2 windows. I'm going to give them January. That's it. Because, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. If you really want to stay. Ultimately, I believe that this is a ploy to sell the club. To make everything on the up and up, make everything look good. We got Levy out, who was a huge blocker and all that stuff. Club just won, Europa League. We got big players in. So I could see that being that. But if they are, and I will say one other thing, if Vivian is the one running it, if she is the one that is mainly in charge, it brings me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I know she's been there for a lot of the games.
Yep.
It's tough, because realistically, it was Danny Levy's Tottenham, but Joe Lewis was running everything behind closed doors. He could have done this ages ago, but he decided not to. So what makes you step in now? And let's see what you got to do. I don't want to feel the same way that I felt for the number of years of watching Tottenham and just being heartbroken. I'm tired of that. So I'm always going to guard my heart with that.
That's a fair comment. But go on, Liram.
This is a brilliant, really interesting point, Jack, because I was actually going to bring up that, okay, you're saying 1 window, we're saying 2 windows, but are we already towards the second window? Because this window right now, was Levy even in the picture? Because I suspect that they knew that he's going out, but we didn't want to give this info before the window because we didn't want to lower his negotiation power, because if
Yep.
he's checked out, they will take advantage. So maybe we are towards the second window. Plus, this was the most ambitious and getting players who are already right here, right now, and splurging money that I've seen in like recent years.
Yep.
So that's a great point. However, there's another point. You're saying that maybe ENIC is actually setting the stage of selling, even though they said publicly that Tottenham is not for sale. So this is like, are they actually saying what they think, or is this all like a stage to like get the price up and check out? So that's a great point.
Yeah, and I think to your point, that's exactly what they did in the summer transfer window. They didn't play their hand. They played, matter of fact, oppositely to what they've been doing, right? And so they're not going to come out and say, "Hey, clubs for sale," because they're going to lose a boatload of money doing that. They want to seem like they're on firm ground. Hey, we're sticking around. We're investing money. We're buying the right players, right? And all that does is bring the money up. It brings their bargaining chip. It brings it up, and I mean, listen, until they actually show something, that's what I want to see.
You know what it is as well, guys. Before we go to the next thing, let's just take all of our houses, the three that, if it's not, our houses aren't on the market, but if someone came and knocked on your door and gave you the exact value for your house, out of the blue, just rang on your door and went, right, here you go, here's $750,000 or whatever it is, and your house value was $750,000, immediately you're like, okay, let me I don't think anyone's done it, but well, wait a second. I think we're sold within 3 years. But on a lovely one, before I go down to the bottom, where else would Kane go if he came back to the Premier League? I hope for us, Chelsea have Pedro and Delap, Arsenal are our rivals, Liverpool have their strikers, the only club are Man United and us. I honestly think now, if Levy weren't still here, if Levy was still here, I think you've got a great point. Now that he is gone, I honestly, from what I heard when he left, he would never step foot back in the club if Levy was in sole power. He's not. He is going to leave Bayern Munich at the end of the season because he's not going to sign a contract extension, and they're going to want to sell him for to get some cash back. And this is what Bayern do, like they did with Lewandowski. They will just go, okay.
Right?
So I honestly am fully on board. Harry Kane's coming back in the summer. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I think Kane's coming back. I'm pretty certain on that. I don't think he would go to a Chelsea or to a Man United. I don't think he would want to do that to us. He's been loyal to us even though he's been at Bayern. And if he doesn't end up coming back, I think he'll go somewhere, maybe in Italy, France, or maybe one of the Spanish clubs. But I don't think he would come back to any other club other than Tottenham. That's what his blood runs through.
What about you, Laurent?
So I agree and disagree with Jack. So I agree that there is a very high chance he goes to Tottenham. I don't think he will go to any other club but the Premier League because he's chasing Alan Shearer. He's like 47, 48 goals behind. I'm kind of like half and half, and hopefully like maybe 75% that he is going to go to Spurs, because if he comes back, the ideal state for him is to win the Premier League and to pass Shearer, but it's probably not going to happen. He's not going to join any North London club. And what you say, Jack, is spot on. Like maybe Man U, they have, what's his name, Sesko, but it's like in Man U, he can break the record for sure. Like they had the most XG. I know you don't like XG, Brian, but they had the most XG. Yeah, the first three fixtures. But I think that he's coming home because he wants to be in a statue in our stadium, hugging Son. So come on, you Spurs, please.
There we go. So this is a great question from Rudra. Rudra instructions. We'll do this quickly. I think the next positions will be left. I think in January we go straight down the left. A left winger and a left centre back / left back, or left back / left centre back. Liran?
I agree. And actually, so I'm an amateur goalkeeper. I've been goalkeeping for like 30 years. I'm almost 40. I think if we can have a hybrid of Vicario and Kinski, because we do want to play in the back, and Vicario is like one of the best shot stoppers. That will be great. So I would actually want to see Kinski next year becoming our keeper, because he's a level 9 with his feet, and Vicario is like a level -5. Shot stopping, Vicario is a little higher, but Kinski is younger. So I think if we can get Kinski or another player like Raya who has both, I think that's important as well. But yeah, left back, left center back, left wing for sure.
Okay, Jack.
Yeah, I think center backs, and I don't think they're going to matter what position of center back. I think Thomas Frank wants to go to a 3, so I think center back's going to be the most important in January. And I think left wing is going to be the hardest position to get, but I think they will prioritize it. And actually, the other position that I believe they'll go out and get as a young player is a 10. I think they want a young 10 in there as well, just to kind of back up Xavi, Madison, Kulu. I think one of those two is going to be gone. And I think Bergval's going to be an 8, not an 10. I think he's a perfect 8 to back up Pepe.
That's a good call out. Also, if we're gonna do a back 3, are we gonna play SS like with 2 strikers? You think?
Hopefully. Well, whether it's Mawani and someone coming off of him, or Solanke and someone, whoever it may be. I will say, Jack, in response to you, I think Spurs sign a left winger within the first 3 days of the window, 5 maximum. I literally think the whole reason we didn't sign a left winger to break what we normally do is Thomas Frank has got his number 1 target, whether it's Savinho or whoever it may be. And rather than just going and buying another left winger for the sake of buying a left winger, I think Thomas Frank has said, nope, I'm happy with what I've got until January. I want the money to go. I literally, and I think it is Savinho. It depends if Savinho gets game time after Cherky got injured. But I honestly think that we sign a left winger within the first 5 days of the window. Enoch will make a statement.
It depends on City. If City is okay giving Savinho up, like if Cherky is fine, even though he's more like a 10, and if they are maybe gonna get a left winger, maybe Rodrigo is gonna suck this season with Real Madrid and he will want to change atmosphere. I don't know, but I think it's still gonna depend on City, and I'm not sure if it's in January Frank is gonna be okay to settle on anybody but Savinho, because he's just hooked on him.
Yeah, and also remember, it's not Daniel Levy negotiated anymore. So anyone that didn't want to talk with him or negotiate with him because of what he did, that's all out the window.
Yeah, I think Savinho's actually going to stay at City. I think he's going to get a lot of game time there. And I think the player that we're going to go out and try to get is Leao. I think Rafael Leao is the actual main target of who we'll get.
See. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad one. Scott, do you know what? There's a lot of people. Fair play. Listen, I'm not going to, anyone that's still going for Enoch, believe me, I'm still very, very wary of them. I am still very, very wary of them. But people said to me, would you prefer Enoch go and Levy stays, or Levy goes and Enoch stay? And I'm this version every single time. And I completely get everyone that, like yourself, Scott, is saying, do you know what? Let's have a quick look. Actually, we'll do that later on. But we got our first super chat. Let me just Lee Harvey, the one that nicknamed my Sar Torre the lawnmower because he covers every single blade of grass. Lee Harvey, how are you, buddy? Edith Bryan, watching at work again. Have you seen the Xavi training? Yeah, mate. I think. Do you know what? There's a couple of things that I know. First of all, Xavi's touch. Yes, it's training and they weren't going filling on him, but you could see some of the flicks, some of the flares, some of his finishing. But you saw a lot of Mawani on the left. He was passing out wide to Mawani. And it was like, well, wait a minute. Is that him playing on the left? And then we'll play Richie. So there's loads of variations. But what was your guys? So, Ryan, I'll come to you first. What was your, and thanks, Lee, for the super chat. I hope you're good and well, buddy, and the family. What was
I
your
was gonna
thoughts?
say the same thing. I saw Ben and Sim posting that him on the left. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when we just signed him? I sent you my ideal
Yep,
11, and he
yep,
was on the left.
yep.
And then back to you, Jack. I love Leao. I think him and maybe Semenyo are like the best left winger, like right now. Well, not the best, but like one of the best that are kind of realistic. But Leal does not defend. He has this ego that he just does not defend. He's just too good. So you play him because he provides, right? However, Frank is not gonna tolerate that. So this is why I think it's not very realistic that we will get Leal, but I want to see what you think, Jack, because it's just a mismatch of the fit between the player and the coach.
Brendan Johnson's the same way. I've watched games where he's slacking in the back and playing offensively. I don't think he'll have an issue with it.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, and I also think Leao does play back. He just doesn't have to in the league that he's in. Very different league in Portugal than it is in the Prem. And I think he can absolutely run back and defend if he needed to. But I want anybody other than Johnson. I love that he scores goals, but that man, watching him play sometimes just irks my nerves.
Mate, do you
Without
know what?
Johnson, we will be in the championship right now, but I agree he's not the prettiest to watch. He's not like an inverted left back that can cut on the right, but he is just very efficient and he's almost as clinical as Kane, which is mad. He's just not your typical pretty to watch winger, but he literally kept us in the Prem.
I'll tell you one thing with Johnson, and I mean this seriously. I would not be surprised in January if Ange comes for him. And one of the things Spurs have got to do, and we'll see if Enoch and the new setup Spurs are like this. If someone comes in for Johnson, and let's say they say 35 million, Spurs have got to think, do you know what? With that 35 million, we can, and I'm just using 35 million as a number, we can use that to get a player out, bring some money in, and use it elsewhere. How bad we've been so bad at getting players out the door. That if players come in like this, so I would not be surprised to see him. I really genuinely would be surprised to see that. Big up Angus, my favourite YouTube gooner, who's always here for banter. And this is him talking about there were fights in the stadium during the Wenger out days, and it will soon happen with Arteta out if it's not already happening. Do you know what, mate? One thing I can say, or hopefully say, my boycott's over, and I'm hopefully going to the Wolves game. With my first game, didn't go once during Ange Postecoglou, and all the time that I was home, refused to go home. I went away with Ben and Sim. The stadium at Tottenham, you could feel the animosity and the toxicity and the conflict between people that wanted Levy out, people that didn't care, people that wanted... And the stadium atmosphere was a big, big problem. Away, the fans are always brilliant, but there was still, I saw fights on the terraces. I saw, hopefully now, all that could go away. And all the Spurs, I mean, West Ham away is going to be a carnival. It's going to be a carnival. And long may that continue. Lord Rodney Trotto, who's actually put a picture of himself up there, you dipstick. If you two don't, have you two heard of a comedy called Only Fools and Horses? Okay,
no,
there's a character in there called Rodney Trotter, and what his catchphrase is dipstick and everything. So whenever I see him, it's nothing but love for that man. Big up Hope Gaming. I'm skeptical as well. The other owners are billionaires before they became owners. Enoch are billionaires because of Spurs, so I don't think they'll even splash the cash. So, listen, I don't blame the skeptics. Like I said, I don't Hope Gaming. I do not like Jack. Jack's skeptical. I've still got my wits about them. I've still got I'm still keeping an eye on everything they do. I'm watching them and monitoring them like a hawk. But I am prepared. After 17 years, almost 18. I was so hoping to get to 18 years so I could say the Levy out me can officially drink, because I would have hit 18. I could officially drink it. I wanted to get to that magic number. Or no, I'd rather not, but I was so close to it. So I'm like, do you know what? I've got what I wanted. So now I'm going to sit back, watch what they do, and for a whole season now, I don't need to bitch about Levy. I don't. There'll be a time soon. Let's say November, Christmas. Obviously, the takeover talk where we won't even speak about him. We won't even mention his name. So I'm giving it those 2 windows. But believe me, Hope Gaming, as people know and will verify, if there is a problem with Enoch, I will be straight at that trading ground. I will be straight outside, even if it's just myself, Ryan, and Graham again. But I'm just going to give them these 2 windows.
Brian, something controversial, but I had a thought. You were talking about, okay, maybe because now Ange is like a big, like a Johnson fan, and the Morgan Gibbs White saga, and maybe Ange will have some influence in power over Marinakis to loose up his shackles a little bit off of Morgan Gibbs White. But what do you think about this? A swap deal. We get Morgan Gibbs White, they get Johnson plus some cash, and then because Morgan Gibbs White comes into the 10, and we already have Chabi, and then maybe like Kulu there that can fulfill this role. What do you think about releasing Madison after he's back and he's having a few good games? He's not getting younger. He will still have his value. His contract is almost gonna be done, I think. And after like a knee injury, so I would think like cash in. We have enough 10s, and with this money, get a Savinio or get a left wing.
Marinakis ain't giving us Morgan Gibbs White till the summer. Not a chance in hell.
I'm not saying just in January. I'm saying just.
No, but I think Brennan will go in January.
Yeah.
I think Brennan. Go on, Jack.
I also think that if Gibbs White does come in the summer, he's not coming as a 10, he's coming as an 8.
Yeah.
He is the perfect 8 for that system. He's a guy who can get up and down. He can play the ball where it needs to go. He can also play defensively. He's what Pape is going to become.
I was gonna say
I think he's the perfect.
Where's Pape gonna
He's
be?
He's the perfect trainer for him. I mean, if you look at the squad now that we have now, you have people in their late 20s, and you have a lot of young guys, and it is the perfect system to start integrating these young guys up and up and up more and more and more. At every position you have an older gentleman and with a younger guy. So I think the system is set. I think you're just a few star players away, a few star players in depth, and you need more homegrown. Yeah.
What's the next one? Well done, Matthew. He's just won the Champions League for Spurs over Chelsea. Champions. Could you imagine if that's what? Oh no, they can't. They're in the Europa. Wait, no, are they the Champions League? No, they're in the Europa League. Exactly. Congratulations, Matthew. Lost the Prem, second place to the Scum. Oh Jesus.
Oh jeez.
Well, you won the Champions League. That's all that matters. Lost in my PlayStation, mate. Mate, that is a bad scenario. Let's have a look what Hope Gaming is saying. I've just seen my man Jonathan Boyd is in the house. Big up, Jonathan. We signed many players because other clubs also signed many players, so it was literally to catch up. I wouldn't read too much into it. And 2 of them are like, listen, look, you can look at this window. A lot of it was reactive rather than proactive. There's no doubt in it. But other windows, Spurs would have gone and bought up and coming youngster or a player that was on the transfer list that a player needed to get out. I understand where you're coming from in this, but I look at it in the way, I don't know what I'll go to you first, Jack. Spurs literally brought in 4 starters. We wanted players to come in and get literally walk into that first team. And that's what they did. But I completely get where you're coming from, Hope Gaming. Where are you, Jack, with this?
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I actually think they played this really smart, because I think they have their eye sets on the 2 positions that we got loans, which we will talk technically in this call Kulu or Moani, a left wing, is 2 positions that they wanted someone in specific and could not get, and then with the Paulinho, I think they really want Wharton in that position. I think they see
Yep.
him as the future CDM. And so they knew they couldn't get him this transfer window. They
Yep.
knew they had to wait. So get a 30-year-old Pauline in so he could hold that position for a year. If he plays well enough, he's a good guy to have on your squad for depth,
100%.
right? And it brings up a good question. Like we did buy a lot of players, we didn't sell a lot of players. We have to be able to be willing to give up some of these bigger name players that we weren't before. And I think we definitely now have the depth to be able to go and do something like that. As long as we're replacing those players with other same caliber potential players,
Correct.
it's something that we have to get used to now. And that's how a big club acts. That's how a big club goes through the market. They're not only buying players, they're also selling players as well. And players that people have been used to in the squad. You know,
You're spot on, Jack. You're spot on, my man. What about you, Lirab?
Yeah, he's spot on, Jack. Jack, I think that you should be a regular here because
You both could be
90% of what
regulars.
you said today is
Both be regulars.
yeah. So I think that Palinia is a great stopgap. He's 30. He didn't get like regular time because they have who Kimmich in Bahrain, I think, in his spot for his class, and he wanted to come back to the Prem, and he is proven because he played for Fulham. That's great. He's what 30, so maybe if we can sign him for a couple of years, that's okay. But Wharton, he's spot on. This is exactly who I was thinking of. He is the next big thing. However, I think he was not valued, but they wanted like close to like 6 figures for him, right? So I would maybe wait to see if he's not too much injury prone. Maybe wait to see like when his value goes down a little bit and then grab him. But other than that, agree.
There you go. And I will say, look, we're not going to get into the conversation, Tony, but the whole reason I did this stream was because there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. A lot of shit. Awful shit. And I thought when I was just sitting down watching TV, every channel you flick over, it's all doom and gloom. And I thought, Joe, what, let's get the Spurs community together and do a good show. And what I will say, no matter what you think of this man, no man or woman or child should ever die in these kind of tragic ways. And just rest in peace. Rest in peace. Jonathan, do you know what? I saw this comment coming up and you've absolutely nailed it. I'll go to you, Lirab, first. There's nothing I can say to better what Jonathan has said. Regardless of what the ownership says, we need actions and results to show they prioritise football over business. Now, the 2 words I'm going to say is nailed it. What do you reckon, Lirab?
Yeah, and we are not gonna know until the next 1 or 2 windows. And this is exactly what's gonna tell us exactly like if what they're saying is actually what they are intending to do, or if they're all business, like whose name shall not be said did for a quarter of a century. So let's see, let's wait. We are hopeful. And again, the daughter, what's her name? I forgot. She's Vivian. She looks to
Vivian,
be a legit fan. So hopefully,
Jack?
yeah, this is why I'm so big on different ownership. I think you have the model already set to be sustainable for years. They have the world-class stadium. They have a bunch of brand deals that were, released this summer. So the cash flow is coming in. People want to go watch us. So you have everything set up. It is time to put your money where your mouth is and to focus on the football. That is the last piece of this puzzle. This could be a well-oiled machine that could last for a very, very, very long time because of how we set up financially. So, yeah.
You're good.
I'm gonna go to the loo and come back. Hopefully, no transfer.
I doubt there will be, brother. I doubt there will be. We'll see in a sec. I just want to say very quickly, Angus, you and me will speak off camera. And I feel a crazy bet coming up with you and me. I'll put a bet on Spurs. You put a bet on Barca. And if he ends up at either, we'll do a forfeit. Scott, I'm not talking Spurs transfers with you and jinxing it. It would be scary. It's not going to happen, though. As Hope Gaming has said, we have the first right to match whatever offer Kane Bayern receives from Kane. Absolutely spot on. Are we going to use the Kane money to sign Kane? Well, we used the Bow money to sign Bow. We used Defoe money to sign Defoe. Keane money to sign Keane. Why not, buddy? Why not? This is the big thing. This is the big thing. And I think for him to do it in a Spurs shirt means more to him than anything. Means more to him than anything, Jack. And you got to think, he's only 48 away. He wants that record. He's going to go down as our greatest goal scorer, England's greatest goal scorer, and the chance to be the Premier League. I think it's just too much for him to turn down. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think he definitely wants that record. I think it's definitely attainable for him, especially in a Frank system. Guy who holds up the ball extremely, extremely well, can play that outlet pass extremely, extremely well. This is the exact system that Kane can come in and break that record. But the question is he really gonna want to come back? That's where I'm kind of stuck with, because I could see him going to Barca. I could absolutely see that.
Well, the way with Barca are, they can't register players all the time. Yes, they'll Harry Kane's an exception. They'll try and do it. So he's gonna replace Lewandowski at Bayern. Then he's gonna replace Lewandowski. I can't see it. I cannot see it. I can only see him. He wanted to play in Europe. He's done it. I honestly, like Lord Rodney Trotter, he's definitely coming back. I said last year, so obvious. I'll take him. But my problem with Kane is, unlike Sheringham, for example, I don't see that selfishness in him. Listen, he is a very, very team-orientated player. And the great thing with Kane is, once he gets a little bit older, he could drop into the number 10. He could even drop into midfield and dictate play from midfield. He's just that good. He's not going to Barcelona, buddy. Mate, we're going to talk. He's not going to Barcelona. Get it out of your head. There we go. We all love Kane. But if you have one choice, Savinho for the future or a Kane... Yeah, but you know what, Spurs Patriots? I think Savinho happens in January and Kane happens in the summer. So I could sit on the fence and say both. But that's a real tough... Oh, mate.
Didn't we have the same question about a week ago in like a couple of streams ago, right?
I don't think this one came up. I think I'd have to say Kane. Say Kane.
I have to say Kane.
I'm the same exact way.
He is what, 32? So next window is gonna be 33, and he can, like, if Lewandowski, Cristiano Ronaldo, like, obviously, like, CR7 is like a beast and he's taking care of the body more than anyone. But and he's taking care of his body really well, and he's very compact and very efficient in his movement. He doesn't require too much movement, so I can see him play until he's like mid to late 30s and bang goals. He just banged 119 goals and assists in 100, I think, games in his first season. It's crazy.
He's got 91 goals in 100 games. I'm
all about like thinking, like forward thinking with Savinho, but dude, it's Kane. So it's like the complete story. Like, I would rather have Kane for 3 good seasons than Savinho being the next whatever,
And you know what? There's a lot of talk. If Savinho came, would he use Spurs as that stepping stone, play regular, and then in a couple of years go, right, Real or Barca come in, goodbye Tottenham? It wouldn't be the same with Kane. It just
he's gonna retire at Tottenham.
And I have to say, guys, I hope you're giving in the comments, or you need to give Jack and Liran a lot of love. This is their first time on the stream, first time on the channel. Is it the first time you've come on Spurs streams, both of you?
Yeah, I've never been on any other stream.
There you go. So you've come on and you're brilliant to speak with, and now people will know you in the community. So I hope you're giving them a lot of love, because a lot of people that want to come on, sometimes you see all the trolls or people that just sit in the chat and give it all this and then don't come on or whatever. You're killing it, guys. You're killing it. Alan Shearer calling himself the top goal scorer of all time is a scam. Jimmy Greaves, obviously, way too before all our times. But I tell you what, whenever I spoke to my dad or my grandpa or anyone about Jimmy Greaves, my God, the stories people would tell, the pitches, the ball. Mate, have you seen videos of Jimmy Greaves? Have you both seen videos of Jimmy Greaves?
Bits and pieces.
Oh, mate, that guy was insane. Absolutely insane. Right. KPV is in the house. My God, what an honor. Big up, everyone. I hope you're well. Brig on Saturday. Let's beat the Hammers and beat Villarreal on Tuesday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Comedy Spurs. And as always, it's not Levy out anymore, KPV. It's Levy gone. Levy gone is the catchphrase now, buddy. Would Kane, for example, in 27-28 season, would he be accept another top striker coming in and being first choice? Mate, you know what? I think by that time, where are we? So here come next season is 26-27. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Where are the years going? I'm getting older. We're all getting older, but Jesus Christ.
I think Kane is all about the club.
He'll drop into the 10. He'll drop into the 10 by sharing him.
He was a 10 jersey, right? Which was
Yep.
kind of crazy because he's like a basic 9. But if somebody is better for the club, he will be 100% in it, and he will actually like make them better. I think he's all about the club and not about himself. So,
you agree, Jack?
100%, I agree. That's why he stuck at Spurs for such a long time, because he was all for the badge. So, yeah.
Yep.
He was like oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on, Liran, go on.
He was like breaking individual records like most season, and he still stayed. So spot on, Jack. Yeah,
correct.
It was a lot about his character.
Correct. So Scott's saying 2 strikes with Kudus. I agree. He's not a striker. He's not a striker. He needs to be on the right wing, or at least at the 10 if they do like he does for Ghana. But then you've got Mawani, Solanke, Richarlison, Tell that can play off Solanke, Johnson that can play off Solanke. If I'm just saying there's options. So I can't see him playing a lot up front now that players are coming back. Jack?
Yeah, Mr. Diggle, I was curious if you thought about this. What about Richarlison at the left wing position?
Mate,
I think he could play a bang out job there.
He did well in
Europe.
Europe.
He did good last season.
No, he was in Europe. In Europe, he did good. But also, you got to remember, when he was up top, it was Solanke up top. You've got Kolo Muani now. And you've looked at the players you've got around.
Demon.
And you've got Kudus on the right. You have Paulinho. The whole shape of the team and the demographic has changed. So Richarlison played a lot on the left for Everton. So it is an option. It is an option. I wouldn't be against. See, not permanently, but if he's out left, we'd see who else is available. But I wouldn't be opposed to Richarlison on the left.
And this is the beauty of the Tottenham team, is you have so many players that can play so many different positions. And the midfield alone, if you look at the different, Betancourt can play the 10 or the 6 of the 8. Paulinho is just a 10. You got Bergvall can play, the 10 or the 8. You got Archie Gray can play the 6 or the 8. Or center back or left back, wherever you need them to play. And you have all these players that can play all these different positions. It just makes for, it makes fun for Thomas Frank, to see what he's going to do week in and week out. And that's what has me excited. I couldn't wait until I see Xavi Simons in a game, come Saturday.
So
2 weeks.
Correct.
Frank is so adaptable, which is great that we have like so many options. I 100% agree that we have options in the midfield. Not even to mention our front 4. Kudus can play on the right wing. He can play as a 10. Xavi can play as a 10. He can play pretty good on the left wing as well.
Yep.
Kolo Muani, he's a 9. He can play on the left wing. What I actually don't agree with, very respectfully, is Richarlison playing on the left. I think he's a brilliant poacher. His runs are timed well, and he's actually very clinical. In the air, tapping in. But on the left, kind of like taking people on, I actually don't agree with Richarlison. I think he's even worse than Johnson.
Well, no, Johnson can finish.
Yes, but I'm saying taking people on the left and actually taking them on, I just don't think Johnson or Richarlison can do it. We need people who are more kind of like trickery. But that's just my opinion.
I don't
Just
think
to
he
make it
needs to. I don't think he needs to with Xavi in there. I think Xavi could easily drift out to the left, and Richarlison can play that makeshift 9, while
That's
also
a
being
great
the
point.
defender
Yeah.
on the left.
That's a great point.
Like,
If he can do that,
like you said, Liran, this is the thing. What you got to remember is people that may knock Archie Gray, people may knock Tell, may knock Johnson, may knock Danso, who I love, or whoever, but Thomas Frank can mould this team however he wants it. And the great thing is, if you play an Archie Gray in midfield, damn right, Thomas, Frank, Thomas, Frank. If he plays an Archie Gray in midfield and he's got a Paulinho and let's say a Bentancur with him, Archie Gray will be fine because he's got two model pros to help him throughout it. Unlike last season where it was just scattergun, no one taking accountability or ownership or leadership. So we'll see. Lord Roddy Trump, for one last year, great. He can hopefully break the record. He needs 48 goals, buddy. He needs 48 goals to equal 49 to beat it. But what if he doesn't and he needs 10 goals, for example, and we're slipping down the table? If is he going to be as far? Yeah.
In 3-4 season, he gets it. Like if he comes back, there is no doubt that he gets it, unless he gets injured. I think.
Correct. In 2 seasons.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Man City currently have 8 or 9 injuries, and one of them is Savio. Listen, we'll wait till January. The name I love to see, Chop Cheese. Chop. This is one of the greatest names. Big up, Brian. Levy eating shark now. Levy eating shark now. Levy gone. I want Savinho. He's horny for more play. The comments that we get. Milan not in Europe, so I agree with Liao. Listen, Liao, his wages are around 132,000 euro, around that ballpark. So in euros, it's doable for Tottenham. It's the transfer fee. So Milan, but again, it's a new ownership, or not a new ownership, but a new dawn that we're going through. Who knows what we do? What do you guys think? With do you think there's a remote possibility that Liao could come?
I think anything's possible right now. We don't know how this ownership's gonna work out, but I definitely see it as I saw it as a big possibility in the summer. I think they could have definitely went for him and gotten him if they were willing to pay the money and the wages. I think the main question with Leao though is he willing to come to Spurs? Does he want to go to a Premier League team that hasn't been in the best form as of late, and has been consistent? Let's put it consistent. That's a better word to put it. Yeah, and will another club want to go for him because he's world class? It's world class in my opinion.
Yep. What about you, Liran?
I mean, again, as long as Frank is okay with his work rate and his attitude, because Frank is not tolerant about attitude. See Bissouma, even though I think he ended up staying, right? But he was like, literally, I think if Bissouma was available for the final against PSG when we did our subs, I think we might have pulled it through. But again, it just shows you how Frank is about like setting up the basic and the core of the culture. So this is why I'm kind of like, would he want it? But I actually agree with Jack. He's just too good, and he will bring him in. And like Jack said, that he actually believed that he can defend. He just doesn't need against the opposition in Italy, which is a great point that I didn't even think about. It's not apples to apples to the Premier League. Then yeah, I think that I fully agree with Jack that it just depends if we are gonna stack up the money.
So I just checked this on BBC, Jonathan. I read something, not sure about the reality, that Solanke has a good chance of starting on Saturday. I'm really curious to see. Now,
isn't he injured? Isn't
Yeah,
he like
I think this.
represent for like
I
2
think this
months?
is nonsense, and I think this is Frank playing mind games and thinking West Ham might think we're there. I don't know, but from what I was told, it's a lot. Well, not a lot worse. It's worse than first feared. Those famous magical words we hear from Tottenham and surgery, and it's one of the reasons we went in for Moani
Because they were
because
trying to give him an injection, but
yeah.
then
So
I don't know if it worked, and they were like silence about it. So I'm thinking he's probably out for a couple of months, right?
I think he's out for a couple of months, but maybe he is back ahead of schedule. Maybe it's all been hot air, but I can't see him being available for West Ham. What about you, Jack?
No, absolutely not available. I agree with you. I think the way that they played their hand at the end of the window, getting Muani, was a testament that they knew the injury wasn't as
Yeah,
good. And they did the smart thing by getting a guy who could play striker and left wing, which is even more to the point of, hey, you know, Slanky might not be here for the majority of the beginning of the season. We need to make sure we have someone who could back up an already injury prone Richarlison. You know, because I don't think Spurs fans wanted to see Tell at the 9 again, especially
yeah,
me. I didn't.
correct. I'm gonna say right here, Scott. You brought this one up, saying not getting a left winger in the window was disgraceful. Do you know, I when it closed, I agreed. I completely agreed. Now we
Yes.
know what's happened. Has happened. I think there's a specific reason why we didn't. I think Thomas Frank might have said, I've got enough to get me through till January because I've got player X in mind. We've all gone nuts. Or not we've all, but a lot of this fan base has gone nuts that we went and re-signed Tell. All right, it was pretty much a done deal with Bayern and everything. We're like, well,
Yeah.
why did we waste that amount of money on him? Why have we wasted this amount of money on this one? Why have we done it with this one? I think Thomas Frank has a number one target. I think it is Savidio, but let's just not say player X.
Yep.
Would you rather, if Thomas Frank says, right, do you know what? I think I've got enough to get me through to January. I want this player. Don't spend money on X, Y, and Z because come January, go all out and get me player
Yes.
A. Then would you rather Spurs go and wasted money on a lower version of what Frank wanted, or would you rather that money was there? Not saying, listen, Scott, I agree. The left wing is definitely an area that needs improving without a shadow of a doubt. But for once, now I know or we know what we know. Levy's gone. It's the new dawn, blah, blah, blah. I think Spurs have been clever here and they'll fix it. Listen, we have got so many players that can play on the left. They might not be great. They might not be great, but if the rest of his squad or team can do the job he wants and he can hold off till January to get player number one, numero uno that he wants, then now with what's happened, like I said, I think we sign the left winger in the first week of the window, first 5 days. Loran, what are you in agreement with me?
I agree with you. I agree with Scott, but I have so many thoughts about it. I have like 5 things running through my head. Okay. First of all, Frank, and he said it in one of his first press conferences after the window shut, he wants quality over quantity. And this is basically, he said, I'm not going to bring people unless they are really upgrading the squad. And this is forward thinking, and I'm loving it. It means that he cares about the club more than he cares about his job. Because if he wanted to just bring somebody right now who is not great for long term, but gonna keep his job, he would do it. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I think that we do have a few people to get us kind of like to January. We have Johnson. I really love Odobert. He's just very young, but he is a classic inverted left winger, righty. He's tacky. So I think that he can really learn from somebody like maybe Xavi, who can like teach him a little bit on left wing, or maybe Colomwani. Another thing is and people are not talking about this guy too like as much as they should, but what's his name? Akliosh, the left wing from
Yeah.
He can play all over the front line. He can play at 10. He can play like predominantly right wing, but then left wing. I would actually rather him than Savinho. I know it's a kind of like controversial thing to say, but if you just like look at his stats, look at his I mean, I know that Savinho had really good stats before coming into the Prem in what's the name, Girona, but this guy can really be like our next big thing. He's 23, he's tall, he's strong, so yeah. But I do agree that short term not getting left wing was very, very disappointing. Not getting as a, again, he can play 10, he can play left wing, is proven. But overall, I'm very, very happy with the window. Plus, I'm very in agreement with Jack that if this window wasn't so explosive from all of the other team, bringing so many like attacking expensive talent for like across the top 5 teams, we wouldn't have gotten like not so many, but like Koulibaly, Xavi, and Kudus. But yeah, overall, I agree with you short term, Scott, but long term with Frank and new leadership, I'm very happy.
Jack, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we got to give the club a little bit of credit on this. To imagine at the beginning of the window, you fire Ange, who just won Europa League, and you bring in Thomas Frank, who has all new ideas and wants different types of players to get all that together. Then throughout the window, I believe, they probably knew that Levy was out at the end of this, and to go through all that monumental change and to get through it and to still get 4 players who could start in your starting 11 is incredible. I don't believe you can get a left winger also at that point. That is a lot to ask a club going through that much change at once. I think they did the best that they could with what they had. And I also do believe they had a player in mind who they knew they just couldn't get this window too late in the window to be able to get it. And the way that we moved this summer transfer window is completely different than any other summer transfer window that we have seen from Tottenham before. We don't play release clauses. We don't put on loan 30-year-old players. There have been a bunch of things that have been just different, and we don't pay people this. We don't pay Xavi 195 a week. Yeah, that's not Tottenham that I knew. So I think hopefully in due time we will see continuing of this change, and it won't be for what I think is just a gear up to sell, which might not be the worst thing either, depending on where it comes from.
There you go.
Go
on, bro.
If not Savinho, if we could have brought maybe like Fofana on the left from Lyon, it's like okay, but not like a what's his name from Man U, former Dortmund, because we could have probably just went for it, Sancho, because this is like we do not want that. So I'm actually agreeing with him to not do that.
I've just seen Scott going way further down. I might skip further down where you said literally you said if that is the thinking, it's still disgraceful. It's not disgraceful, Scott. It's not disgraceful, brother. Would you rather we went and signed a shabby left winger or a left winger that's nowhere up to par and just try and get through till January to get him? Because that's what I think is going to happen. And if he thinks he can get through it with what he does, I think that is really, really, and would have me as Frank out. I think that is really, really, really harsh. I think that is really harsh.
I actually do agree with Scott. I think it is disgraceful from a club perspective, but I think they did what they had to do. And the reason why it is disgraceful is because we shouldn't be acting like this late. We should have done this back in 21, 22, 23. This is how we should have been moving. It's a little too late. So I do have sympathy for the people
I'm going to give you the prime example. I'm going to give you the prime example. Obviously, we're going back then, so it's not the same. And the player I'm about to mention, when Liverpool went for Van Dijk throughout the entire summer, he was like, get me Van Dijk, and Southampton dug their heels in. And then when it looked like they weren't going to get him, Jurgen Klopp's spoken about this. Liverpool went up to him and said, right, we can get you other defenders in. What defenders do you want? He's like, nope. I want Virgil van Dijk. I will make do with what I've got. And Liverpool did not have the greatest defence. Remember, they needed a defender and a goalkeeper to revolutionise what they've got now. They waited for Coutinho to go. Or Coutinho hadn't even gone, but they knew they had the Coutinho money coming in. And on the 1st of January, Virgil van Dijk was at Liverpool. Like, done. Like, we're not mucking about. Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk has gone on to be incredible for Liverpool. And I'm not saying Savinho is that type of player, but Liverpool offered Jurgen Klopp a load of different options in defence, and he turned round and said, nope, 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 I want him. And in January, bang. Do I think Tottenham should have got a left winger this window? Absolutely. Absolutely. But with everyone that started going on with Levy leaving, we left it too late. And I've just seen D-Shark20 is actually Baby Cakes. You just don't know on her son's account. So big up to you, Baby Cakes. But yeah, I think that's what Spurs are doing. Whether they pull it off, that's it. That's my personal feeling. It doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. But if Frank has a number one person if they had a player in mind, I would rather Spurs waited. Listen, there's no doubt we need better left wingers. There is no doubt whatsoever we need better wingers. But if we couldn't get his number one choice in, and there is a chance, and we don't know what's going on. If we don't know what's going on, and he has, and it might not be Savinho, it could be Leao, it could be someone completely different. I'm prepared if Frank can say, get me the left winger I want in January. I'm fine with it. Guys, you're on a similar, as where things are now. Not that we forgot to get, and we should have. There's no doubt we should have. That's the position we desperately needed, and we fell short. But if I said to you right now, we can get player Lookman, for example, which wasn't his number one choice, get him in the door right now, or we'll try and do everything we can within reason, or not within reason, we'll do everything we can to make sure we can get Savinho, we use, or Leao in January. Would you take the lesser option now, or would you have gone and said, I could get through till January?
Absolutely wait. 100%. But this is the thing. Like, I don't blame Scott for thinking like that, because we have been just acting a certain way for such a long time. But we definitely, if he has a man in mind and Thomas Frank is the right coach for us, which I believe all of us believe that he is, wait for that guy and then go and get him.
Do you know what? This is the first one that I'm going to do right now, because I haven't done this for a while, and we'll come down to the bottom because we've gone way past the way past loads of comments right now. I just want to know the same options, guys. If you could have got the lesser player now in left winger, let's just say Lookman, or Tottenham told you they're going to do everything they can and show that they mean business by making a statement, by going getting the left winger that you wanted right here, right now, like player one. If you had the choice, sign a Lookman now, and let's just use Savinho. Let's just say Lookman and Savinho. If you had the choice that we could have got Lookman in January, in the summer, or waited till January and go land a Savinho, are you choosing Lookman or Savinho? And Scott's put, we are getting Savinho in January, so instead, why we don't upgrade? Listen, you don't know that, mate. You don't know that. Like I said, big teams have gone and got big players out in January. If he's not playing for Manchester City, and it may not be Savinho, I'm just using Savinho as an option. I would choose waiting for January. Liran, are you January as well? I know Jack is. Would you be Lookman now, or would you be Savinho?
I would be Savinho, And I was trying to think of a cheat code to do both, so maybe Lookman on loan, but I know it fell through because they were an obligation to buy. So yes, Savinho.
So let's have a look. We've got. Should we trust the process? I'm giving it 2 windows, but let's have a look.
Please
We've
no Arsenal jargon here. Yeah.
We've got Savinho in January, Lookman from Baby Cakes, Savinho. We did. It's the reason we're doing this stream. Him, because of all the doom and gloom in the world and horrificness, we are keeping away from it. But we're having this stream so the Tottenham on Tour community can have some fun.
I just want to say that I was talking to. Sorry to.
Yeah, go on, bro.
It's important. Sorry. Sorry about that. But I was talking to Brian after he tweeted like, "Hey, should we do a last minute?" And I, again, WhatsApp him like he said, in case you missed it, like, freaking do it, right? And then he said that he's gonna do it because he's building community and he wants to provide a safe space for people to just be here. So yeah, big up Brian, because this is what this channel is about. I know it's Tottenham, but it's about just like building community. So thank you so much.
No problem, mate. Lookman, mate. Scott, what we've got to do, we've got to look at where we are. I think there's going to be drastic change at Spurs, but there's no way Spurs are dropping 50 million for a Lookman and 65 million for a Savinho. We're not at that place right now. Maybe if new owners came in and we had the multi-billionaires all come in and acted like Chelsea, that's just not going to happen. That's what hopefully we will get to in the next 2 to 3 years when the club is sold or whatever. We just can't. That's not going to happen. But I will say, Colin Crossamano is in the building, and his love. Do you know what? If his Semenyo is like my is my Morgan Gibbs White.
My one comment on. Oh, sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Don't forget, Mikey Moore is coming back. And Mikey Moore could be world class as well.
Yes.
So you can't get 2 wingers.
In a few years. Wingers. I think the hype with Joe. What I've got a lot of faith that Mikey Moore in 2-3 years will be a sensational player. We are putting way too much pressure on him.
Lookman, just don't forget that he pretty much flopped for Everton and Fulham. He had 1 goal in 36 games for Everton, and he had 4 goals in 34 games for Fulham, and then 6 goals on loan at Leicester at 26 games. So yes, he's doing pretty good at Atalanta, but he's not prem proven, and he's gonna be 28 in a month. So
well, yeah,
just keep that in mind for the 50 million price tag. This is why I'm more with Savinho.
Well, no, but the thing is, obviously, he's gone away to Italy, matured as a player, and now comes back not as a young kid and everything. So let's have a look. Daigle,
way too much because he just had a good season there.
Mate, he's been very good. Scott M is a ride or die that's been with myself and all the channel, or when I started Tottenham away, and then when I started Tottenham on tour. I love that, man. Some of his takes are wild, but I go through all the comments here. Jacob, he's a top guy. Savinho isn't playing for City and he wants out. It's not, yep. But we should say, Brian Lookman, because I don't, big up, Rowley. Big up. Look, again, I agree with everything with not. Look, I understand people say they don't trust ENIC, but the only way they can show that there's change is in the market. And this is why, Ronnie, I don't know how long you've been here. I said this earlier and I put a tweet out about it. Until the January window, I am not listening to any news about ENIC are going to put this amount of money in. No, they're not going to put this amount of money in. ENIC are going to do this. ENIC are going to try and borrow money. ENIC are going to do that. Tottenham aren't going to do this. I'm not listening to it because this is where it is right now. Tottenham are like the epicenter of, like they were all window, of just putting news out there, and they know the Spurs fans will just feast on it. And Chinese whispers, and it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. I am not listening to any noise. The way until January, the only difference ENIC can make to show they mean business is sign players like Mickey van der Ven on long-term contracts and pay them what they're worth. The only other two things, and these are just my personal ideas, is name one of the stands like the park, the South Stand, the Bill Nicholson Stadium, or Bill Nicholson Gates, put Bill Nicholson's statue there, and the fans go, bloody hell, we've wanted statues for ages. We've wanted legends to be honoured. They named a stat. Until January opens, we just don't know. And people, you can say you don't trust ENIC. The ENIC that we have now, and it's not ENIC, by the way, it's the Lewis Family Trust. It's not ENIC. The ENIC that came in was Donna Cullen, Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, and Joe Lewis was a lot younger and was pulling the strings. This is now Vinay. This is now Charrington. This is now, well, Lange, I think, will be gone. This is Frank. This is the whole recruitment being restructured.
Fabio,
I
too.
think they could. I'm giving it till January. I understand where you're coming from, though, Rowley. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm prepared to say, do you know what? They didn't sign a left winger because I personally think they're going to spend big on a left winger in the first week of the window or first 5 days. Maybe I'll be proven right. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm going to give them that chance. Guys, do you want to add anything to that? Go first, Jack.
Is Fabio back as well? Paratici?
It looks like he won't come back. He was Levy's guy.
Okay, just curious on that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you have to be a little patient with this. As much as Spurs fans hate the word patience, and rightfully so, you just have to be, because we're in an era right now where for the first time in a very, very long time, we have very little idea on how this club is going to move. Because in the past, we knew that once we got to a window, we were going to be promised all these big stars and big names, and then keep on going down the list to a guy who's worth 30, 40 million pounds, and sign a bunch of those, or a bunch of young guys, right? That's how Tottenham was moving. This window, we moved 100% different than how we were any time before. And whether that's credit because Levy knew his job was going, or whether Levy already knew he was out and the Lewis family took over and started moving differently, that's what the January window is going to show. That's really where, and you could show little bits and pieces before that. Like if they start doing what you're saying, signing Mickey Van de Ven to a long term, giving Bentancur a big contract, and just another thought that I had, Romero. If I'm not mistaken, Romero, after we won and Ange was sacked, he had a statement where it sounded like nothing's going to change if Levy is still in charge.
Yes,
And
he called out
in the
Levy while
middle
Levy
of it.
was there, which was very brave.
Yep.
So maybe, just maybe, this is a new era. But like I said, you have to guard your heart. As a Spurs fan, I have to guard my heart because I've been heartbroken so many times. Just
agreed.
Promise these big dreams.
Yep. Jack, you just said what I was just gonna say about Paratici. I don't know if something here reminded both of us, like, oh, Paratici, but I was gonna say, like, Paratici got us Romero, Kulu, Rodrigo, Bentancur in, like, I think the same window. Then Udogie and Pape Mate.
Romero came with Nuno.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But he just brought us like some really good
Paratici was still there. You're right. Paratici, yeah.
But I'm not sure if he's actually gonna stay because, again, like you said, he was like a Levy signing, and now that Levy is gone, I hear some rumoring about him not staying. But I actually want to hear what do you guys think. If it was your call, would you keep Paratici or not?
You've got to remember, Paratici, you mentioned 3 players. He also signed Brian Hill, Emerson Royale, Galini. He was very, do you know what? I keep saying this. The best thing Paratici did was have Gabonini with him, who was the real deal. And also he changed a lot of the training ground. He made sure the youth players got paid the wages they did. He started to change a lot. His transfers were very, very hit and miss. They either flew or they sunk. Either way, I think the way we go now, I put it this way: I'm not fussed if Paratici comes back or not. I'm really not. I don't know if there's another director of football they want to go get, or they look at it. I would actually hope as well that Thomas Frank has some input in it to say, right, this is the guy I want to work with. This is the guy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Jack, where are you with Paratici? Would you have him back?
I think he has a big influence internationally in different leagues, and I think that can help us on a board level. That's in my opinion. I don't know. His track record is very hit or miss. Um, but at the same way, do we want the silent Lang attacks that come out, or do we want to hear news all the time? If we're going for this, we're going for
Yep.
that. It's a very contrast difference between Paratici and Johan Lang. So
Look, I think what we've got to be prepared as well. January, we have no idea what's going to happen. Will we make loads of noise with ITKs and journos and media? Will we be quiet? Will it be we going big? Will we make it? We can only wait until. Big up Aussie Frank Lover. Love this man. Yeah, that's talking about Lookman. It would be really silly to sign another left winger. And exactly, this is it. And I think it is, let's say, Savinho or whatever. But on another note, can't wait for West Ham. It's now Thursday here where I am. Where you two are, is it Thursday? Jack, we're on the same time zone, aren't we?
yes, it should be. Let me
Liran, it's Thursday where you are?
Yep, it's Thursday.
I'm 44 minutes from Thursday because I'm in Texas. So almost.
Okay. So 3 days. So it's 3 days for us. 2 days for us. 2 days. 3 days for you. I can't wait. And you know what? I realised when I get home, there's a bloody another international break in October from the 4th to the 19th. I'm just like, for God's sake. But they've got to get done for the World Cup. I agree. Rowley agrees, but it's going to be about Enoch done the last window. I think, listen, a lot of them, we'll have to, like you said, we've definitely gone for 4 quality players, not youth players, not in a few years or whatever. So it was different. Do you know what? I like I said with Enoch, I'm getting Vinay's come in. Let's see what he does this window. I don't know what to say with Vinay. I mean, Liran, what are you feeling about Vinay?
I'm actually not sure because he just came from Arsenal, right? So I am actually curious to hear Angus or any other Gunners fan here. What did he do? I don't know if you guys have some track records there.
Say that again, sorry, Liran.
I'm saying I'm not very versed about what he did at Arsenal before coming here. Was he good? Was he bad?
So I hear from Angus, and how Angus knows how I feel about him. I love him, but Angus is very, very tunnel vision. He's very, very. He doesn't see. I've got Arsenal fans. Look, he started in one position. He built his way up to the position that he has at Spurs now. He left, and then all the Arsenal youth products started coming through. Mm-hmm. Some say, oh, look, it all happened after Vinay left. Some people say Vinay started this and started building this, and now they're earning the fruit of their labour. But the one thing all Arsenal fans do say is he's very, very good with fan engagement. He will always reach out to the fan. And there is no doubt since he's come, that has drastically improved at Tottenham Hotspur. Whether you like what the club are saying, whether you believe it, whether you agree with it, whether Spurs have definitely done something different in those levels. And yes, he's ex-Arsenal. Yes, he did make Arsenal a load of deals. Yes, he had a couple of hiccups like I've got right now and messed up. But you know what? I'm willing to see what happens. Jack, what's your... Sorry, so now I've filled you in, Durang. You carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If he intended to think about like long term, then kudos to him, and he was aligned with the project of Arteta. If not, then yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see.
There you go, Jack.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You hit it right on the head. Fan engagement has been a huge plus in the difference between, Levy and Vinay. You saw it when he first came in with the scarves being handed out.
Yep.
That's something that Tottenham would have never done before.
Yep.
And I do remember hearing murmurings about his time at Arsenal, but from what I remember, is he was a big part on why they are the way they are now, why they
That's
have
what a
such
lot.
a well-oiled machine.
I've never
So I'm
seen
very excited.
Jack. I will say, I unfortunately have loads of friends that are Arsenal fans. Living in
Mhm.
North London as I did and born there, you can't help it. You can't help it. And I've never seen something so 50-50 with what people look at. You look at the old timers and people like myself, they're like, this guy did really, really good. You look at the people like of Angus's generation, which is a lot younger than the old generation, then it's like, no, shit, he did this, he did that. So it's very, very hit and miss. But big up to Hull Spurs with a super chat. Heard Armco naming rights is 25 million a year. Yeah, look, I mean, Man City have just done a sponsorship that blows everything out the goddamn water, but that's typical Man City. I think this is the thing. What people forget as well is I think before January, the naming rights or sponsorship or whatever, Spurs are going to have a windfall. I truly believe that before January, that happens, and that's going to heavily influence what we do in the window. Jack, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I actually have a question for you, Mr. Daigle, because you've been around this a lot longer than me. With the different sponsorship deals that they've been announcing with the beer company coming in and all
Yep.
the different stuff like that, is that typical in a window for us to see that? Has that happened often in previous years?
Spurs are always announcing partnerships. They're always bloody announcing partnerships. But like a certain ex-chairman said, all the money goes back into the team, which we knew it wasn't.
Right,
You got to remember as
right.
well, once the figures come out as well, there's the 30 events, which has been the most ever. There's Champions League money coming in. There's Europa League winning money coming in. There's a lot of money coming into this football club. And this time it's do Spurs push the boat out and say it. I think the first thing, I think this naming rights is what I think the money coming in is definitely naming rights. I believe it's going to be them.
There is money that didn't go out. So we wanted Morgan Gibbs White, we brought Xavi. It's kind of like a wash, right? We wanted Savinho 70, 80, and then we got Colo on loan. So hopefully that they're not going to repurpose it and it's still in their pocket, but I'm just being hopeful.
I will say I forgot to bring up a comment before from Angus as well that said, "Am I over the Eze heartache?" Look, I was a lot more heartbroken about Morgan Gibbs White, but I will say Daniel Levy leaving Spurs healed my broken heart, and gave me like the Iron Man thing. I am now fully charged, and it's all fucking good. Sean, you're so bang right. You get used to the heartbreak after 41 years. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Well, listen, I think times. I think obviously times will change now. Only one way to find out, and that's see what happens. Lookman looked tailor made for us, but we did react too slow. But again, Rick, I think we didn't go for him because he wasn't Thomas Frank's number one option. And Spurs have been like even like the football Gyökeres, love him or hate him. I really wanted him a couple of years ago. Really wanted him. We'll see if he makes it big. Mikel Arteta said, no, I want Gyökeres. And they stuck at it, and they stuck at it, and they stuck at it, and they stuck at it. Could turn out to be a great deal, could turn out to be a flop. But they went and got his man, and that's what Arsenal have been doing. That's what what Arsenal protested for. Josh Kroenke came in, they ripped everything up and attacked things differently. And I think I'm going to give Spurs the 2 windows, as I keep saying, to show that changes come at board level and at the top. Let's see what they do. Here's one. No, mate, I'll go to you first, Jack. No way Romero would sign unless he had inside information Ari, the Bentancur, the future Bentancur next to clarify this. Yeah, I think Romero, when he signed that contract, he already knew that. I think Spurs had told him, because you got to remember the Eze deal the Eze deal fell apart the day after. The day after, or the day after that, Arsenal went and got Eze, and it was like, wait a minute, Romero's just signed a contract, probably been told we're going to be going for the stars, we're going to be doing it, and then saw that collapse after he put pen to paper. Liran, I come to you first, buddy. I think Romero knew. That massive change was happening at Tottenham before he put pen to paper. What do you think?
1,000,000,000%, because I was so certain that Romero is leaving. He kept talking about being in Italy and wanting to go to Spain, and suddenly he signs a contract. And I know some people thought, oh, it's maybe because Frank gave him the Urban after Son left and Madison is injured and whatnot, but no. Agree.
Jack?
How many players are able to say no to Real Madrid without?
Well, it's Atletico.
Right, but Real was right behind him as well.
Good.
And the thing is that I think he already knew, and I think they had that information in the background for if something like the SA deal was to happen. That's how Tottenham moves a lot of the time. We get hit with bad news, and then they come out with something else. Oh, we've done this.
Yep. Yep. Here we go. One issue overlooked is the backup for that is an issue. It is there's no getaway. That is another issue. But Spence can go there, but we can't expect Spence to play every single goddamn game. I don't know. I think Spence is much better at left back than right back. But when he went to right back against Bournemouth, he did a lot better than Porro was doing. So maybe once Destiny becomes fit, Frank will see him more as a right back. Who knows? I mean, this is a great problem for Frank to have, isn't it, Jack?
Also,
absolutely. Go ahead.
Also, Archie. Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Archie Gray can play right back. I think he played for Leeds like right back for like
he did
some of the time. I think he's better defender at right back than Porro, but he's not nearly as good attacking. So it depends how are we going to play. If we're gonna play 3 at the back, probably Porro on the right makes sense as a wing back. But just don't forget that we have Archie as a backup. But again, he's more of a defensive unit.
Yeah, I mean, Archie didn't look great at right back for us last season. But what I will say with this is he wasn't playing next to a Van der Ven or Romero. Danso hadn't come in yet. The whole midfield last season was non-existent. It was like the parting of the Red Sea.
And he played a centre back as well for like a couple of months as like a 19-year-old without a centre back, and he held his ground, which was very, very impressive.
Correct. I don't know what you're saying, Gray or Danso for. I don't know if you're talking about depth. I don't know if you're talking about who to play with. Listen, I am a massive, massive fan of Kevin Danso. I absolutely love that guy. Honestly, I think he is a man mountain. He's an old school defender that just loves to defend. And if he was to start, let's just say Romero was injured or whatever, West Ham, I've got no problem with Danso coming in. I think Danso is brilliant. Jack?
Yeah, I think they're both brilliant. I am more on the upside of Gray. I'm a big hype man for Gray. I think he's going to do incredible in years. I think he's so versatile. But 2 completely different positions. I know that Gray can play center back, but Danso's completely a center back.
Danso is a lot of people, I didn't know enough about him to go mad, but a lot of people going mad around that. Obviously, we're going for Wolves rejects now, or we're going for. People got to remember, Wolves signed some incredible players. Wolves have an eye for a player. I think Kevin Danso has been a superb acquisition. What about you, Liran?
I think Danso is the backup for a central center back that we didn't have last season. I don't see him playing outside back, but if Romero or Van de Ven is out, he can be massive, plus in the rotation even when they're fit. Now, talking about Archie Gray, he's more versatile. He can play he actually showed us that he can play center back, he can play right back, and I think his best position is probably at the 6, and he's very, very young.
Yep.
So I'm very, very excited to just have him and develop him.
There you go. Let's see what Lord Roddy Trotter is saying. In 1 year, we've won a Europa League, sacked the manager, plugged in a new coach and the entire new coaching team, a new CEO, new chairman, and 4 foot. Exactly. Bang on the money. I mean, only in Spurs can all of what's happened has happened. And you add Romero signing his contract with that as well. It's an insane year. Here we go, Rowley. It's all hopeful, wishful, but it's the Lewis family telling Levy what to do. It's no, Rowley. You're wrong with this part, and what I'm saying that you're wrong at. Joe Lewis and the Enoch family, especially Vivian, would not have told Daniel Levy to negotiate the way he has done, time after time after time. They would not have said to Daniel Levy when we were going for Porro, lowball him all January, and then agree to pay exactly what they asked for on the last day of the window. There is no way, as a businessman, Joe Lewis has said to him, miss out on all these players by faffing about with these low bids and whatever and having other players come in. Joe Lewis has got a lot to answer for over all these years. I do not deny it. I do not doubt it. It is not Joe Lewis doing this. Vivian and Charlie have never been in a position to be able to have an influence because Daniel Levy knows Vivian has hated him and has kiboshed everything he does through his micromanaging. Daniel Levy's micromanaging is exactly what the problem has been, and now the micromanaging has gone. Jack?
Yeah, look at it from a business perspective. I think the winning the Europa League and that atmosphere that we got directly after it, I think that definitely injected some ideas into their heads about those certain things. Um, but it was Levy's Tottenham for a long
Yep.
time. I don't think Lewis cared enough. He just knew, hey, Levy's doing his job. He's getting me his money. But I think what they saw was after we won the Europa League, holy smokes. If we
Correct.
just keep on doing this, imagine where this thing can go.
Correct. Mate, I'm like you, Sean. I am excited. Listen, I've still got things to worry. But I can't remember being this excited. Obviously, Thomas Frank came in. I've never been excited as I am right now for the future. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Tottenham fan. It's the most. It's almost like you have this newborn baby around, and
Yeah.
you see all the wonder and excitement and all that different stuff from the world that's about to come in, and you just don't know what to expect, and it's exciting to see what's next.
Yep. I will say, Angus, you can say this, and Blake can say a lot of Arsenal fans don't think highly of him. I've got a lot of Arsenal fans that do think highly under him. Do think highly of him. It's 6-1 and half a dozen of the other. He's come to Tottenham. It's all changed. Let's see. By the time summer comes, Angus, you could be saying to me, "Told you," or to us, "Told you so." But I could be turning around to you saying, "What the hell were you fucking talking about? Look what he's doing." It's all change. It's all change. Brian, you wearing underwear? Swifty, you always come in with the Vinay.
Mr.
Rowley, do you know what, Rowley? I love you to pieces, but do you know what? When it comes to me doing everything I did and everything I've done, right now, if I'm saying I'm going to be optimistic and believe, I'm going to give it a chance. My job is done. My job was to get Levy out. I don't mean, oh my God, I've done the job for everything. I wanted this man out. My job is done. I've got the battle scars. I've got the war injuries. I've got the lot. Right now, I want to see what goes on. I'm going to have some optimism, hope, belief, and faith that things can be changed at my football club. Our football club, sorry. things don't change until they change. You don't know what you don't know, as they say. And right now, I'm giving them 2 windows. And do you know what? For once, I have so many people going, oh my God, Brian, now Levy's gone. Who are you going to blame? And I've been like, well, no one. Because I wanted Levy out and I've got it out. I am looking forward to, up until January, not giving a fuck what I hear on the boardroom level, not giving a damn what people are saying. I'm going to enjoy the football. I'm going to enjoy getting behind Frank. I'm going to enjoy getting behind the lads. And we're going to see what happens. And like I said, I just want to know, listen, I know for a fact, 'cause I've done it before. If I am wrong, I will come on here and all the other streams I go on and say, Joe, I was wrong. But if people that are saying things like this are wrong, I really hope to see them come on Late Night Lilywhite and go, do you know what, Brian? I should have had faith like you. I should have had faith like you. Because right now, I am all focused on Thomas Frank, coaching staff, players. January, we will see. Jack.
Yeah, you can't blame people for it, but you got to also look at it like the club
Of course
is just
not.
moving completely different than how it has been before. It's a new era. Levy is no longer in front of Tottenham Hotspur. It is now the Tottenham Hotspur. So we can look at this and we can be negative about it and see, how it's going to go, or we can look at this and be like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. Let's give them a window or two, whether it's 1 window or 2, and see what's going to happen. You know, and realistically, this summer has been completely different than all the rest. In the past. So maybe they already are moving different, but at the same token, us fans have been so heartbroken so many times.
Yep.
It is not wrong for people to protect their hearts. But on the point of Vinay and the Gooners,
Yep.
do you think it will be the same way with Ange and Tottenham, and how what Ange did was a catapult to what we can become now? Because a lot of fans were 50-50 on
Yeah.
whether they should sack Ange at the end of the season or if they should keep him.
Yeah. When we won the Europa League, I kind of went, you know what? If he stays and starts the window for winning a trophy, if he goes, he goes. But if you had said to me at any point of his reign, Ange stays or you get Thomas Frank in, every single time, I would have said Thomas Frank. Every single time. So, do you know what, Jacob? This thing, your mate said Vinay brought in 2 or 3, a lot of poor transfer. Again, that could be the case, but also a lot of people have said he had a lot to do with the youth players like the Sackers and everyone coming through and getting everything. So it really is 6 and 1 and half a dozen the other. And again, listen, you may be right. But January is the first stab that he's probably going to have for it, where he's, at the moment, the man that's running things in an executive capacity. And we'll see in January. What happens if let's just say he brings in Savinho and a left centre back of whoever, I'm not going to name a name right now. If he does that, then the first window at Tottenham would have been very successful. So we just don't know. Let's see. Well, no, Paratici, Bastia 7 is highly doubtful to be coming because of Levy. He was Levy's guy. So I don't know if Paratici is coming. We discussed this earlier, but what's Hope Gavin saying? Then I actually got scammed at Arsenal. We say, yeah, this is all well done. Listen, like I said again, I think people were misinterpreted. I get the skepticism. I get people being wary. I'm still wary. But rather than being wary and down and how I was with Levy, I'm going the other way right now. I'm going to enjoy what I love about this. When I started supporting football, and this is before the Premier League and everything, all this talk about what goes on in the boardroom and everything was never a major thing. It was the players on the pitch, the manager in the dugout, and that's what it was. And for the first time in ages, I'm going to do that till January. Till January. Welcome back, Liran. I just listen. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's a marketing guy that's joined us. Let's have a look. He's not though, Rowley. He's not another. He's not another accountant. He's not another accountant. Here we go. In recruitment, Lange will either lose his job or be demoted. Agreed. Well, I mean, this is the question. This is the question. Let's ask. I'll come to you, Liran, for your. Let's with people in the chat. Would you be fine with? Oh, Angus, I know you'll put your hands up if you're wrong. I know you do. You always do. If Lange got demoted to only bringing in youngsters, would you be okay with him staying? Just yes or no. If Lange was to be demoted or whatever, sidestep, so all he can focus on is bringing in the Bergvals and whatever he's brought in, would you be okay with Lange staying in the club if that was his remit? Find young players. Liran, what would you do?
Just a clarifying question. If that would have happened, would we have like a Paratici coming in for the main role, or
let's just say we don't know who, but another guy came in as the main role. Somebody came in as the main role, and Lange was demoted to only focus on young players.
Yeah.
Would you keep
I would
Lange?
be okay with it, but I don't know if Lang would be okay with it.
So let's have a look. We got no. Let's have a look. He won't accept being demoted. Lee is yes. Heard Kulu, yeah. I mean, I don't know how true that is with him coming back in November. Ozzy was no. I think with Paratici, I don't think he's coming back. But do you know what? If Lange was just to focus on youngsters only, I put it this way, I wouldn't be for it. I wouldn't be against it. He just can't be involved in the first team. He can't be involved in like Yakuda's. For the first team right now, he can't get deals done. And he certainly struggled to get players out of the first team. So as long as he was away from the first team, I wouldn't give a shit whether he stayed or whether he goes. Jack, where would you be if Lange was to come in? Sorry, Lange was, whether you want to say demoted or sidestepped, and was told only to deal with bringing in young players. Would you be okay with him staying, or you still want him out the door?
Out the door.
Okay.
I think it brings too much chaos. You got two guys who are, head of recruitment department, head of getting players in. Yeah, you don't want that in your club. Just creates chaos that you don't need. You have one guy who's the head of that. That's it. Does all the negotiations and all that.
There you go. Fair. I'm happy we have a great coach manager. There's a bit of tweaking to be done in the first team. Don't get me wrong. And love Spurs playing with a six at long last. I'll go watch him. Yeah, mate, my boycott. I'm so happy my boycott is over. Being home and not going to home games has been killing me. And hopefully I will be at the Wolves game. I'll definitely be in the Coaching Horses, Rowley, beforehand. This is the thing. It's all going to, and I'm going to bring up, where was the comment I saw? There was a comment I saw. I'm going to go down to it. We'll have a chat about this from Aussie Frank Lover. If Edic are serious, it will be a complete clear out and start again with people Vin I want. So, he has brought in a marketing guy already. I think this is going to happen. But obviously they're not going to say, right, XYZ of the board or 4 or 5 of you piss off, we're bringing someone else in. It's going to be 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. I think Spurs are going to be doing this. I think, but this is going to be not a quick thing. This ain't going to get done before January. There may be a couple of changes. It's a slow burner, isn't it, Jack? In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit on the slower side. for these things. I'm not too sure what the financial person is going to do. I haven't read too much on that, so I'm not too. I don't have enough information to give my opinion on it.
Okay, Liram.
No comment really like on the staff and all of that. So I'm never like really big on commenting on something that I don't have clear like data and
Fair
view
comment.
on. So I'm just gonna pass.
Fair
Oh,
comment. Go on,
one
Jack.
thing I will say, so I watch American football every once in a while, and there's a guy in American football who was on my favorite team for the Eagles, and his sole job was contracts. That was it. To set up contracts in a way that would benefit the team. And if this guy can do something like that, just wait. It is incredible. You're able to continue to sign stars for certain wages, and it's very, very, very similar. So if that's what his idea is in the financial world, all for it. You need someone like that. You need someone to be able to lay out a structure for the club.
You're bad. And I'll tell you what, Angus, I'm happy you mentioned that all day long. All day long, I'll take Ralph Ragnick over Paratici and Lange. If you gave me Ralph Ragnick right now, done. 100%. Obviously, he went a Man U manager, and he's not a manager anymore. He is a director of football. All day long, I'll take Ragnick. Liran, would you take Ragnick?
Bajillion%.
There you go. There you go. What about you, Jack?
Absolutely.
He would be exactly who I would talk. Yeah, but also I will say, buddy, it worked. That was his Juventus connections. This is the guy that also sent Lamella to Sevilla and gave us Brian Hill. This is a person who gave us Galini. This is the person that gave us Emerson Royale, and I can give a few more. Don't get me wrong; he bought some very good players, but it wasn't just all skittles and rainbows. There were some horrors in it.
Talking about Emerson Royale, this actually gives me hope that their perception of deals is kind of like hallucinated. So maybe they would want to give us Leao. So
You never
because
know.
Emerson Royale is the worst player I can recall, him and Sanchez. Yeah. And maybe
Yeah,
I actually think Hill wasn't given enough opportunity and he was too slim for the Premier League. So other than Hill, Real, Sanchez, I think these were like one of our worst.
So there's a great comment here from Joshua. Big up to you, Joshua. And I understand where this is going, but I am worried that ENIC are borrowing money from the Australian bank instead of injecting their own funds. Even if the kids love Tottenham, there is still. What I will say with this, Joshua, and I've been saying this earlier in the show, and I've been saying it a lot on social media. This has happened. We've got we've got to remember today's Thursday now. So it's literally Daniel Levy left a week ago. 1 week. ENIC weren't going to come in and say, right, we're injecting 300 million into the club. Here you go. Happy days, blah, 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 blah. This has happened. And like I said, there is so much noise at the moment, Joshua, so much noise. Obviously, this isn't the greatest to look, but the first thing, it looks like we're borrowing money against money coming in. I think there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more going on. And I'm going to avoid... Listen, I understand this is legit. I understand that this is legit. So that's not a good look. But again, like I said, it's been 7 days. We've got what? Wait a minute. Let's just work this out. Let me just Google something. How many days till 1st of January? We have 112 days until New Year's Day. 112. So the way I look at it is we have 111 days before the window opens. and a lot of things could happen. But I get where you're coming from with this. Liran, where are you with this one? With the 90 million we borrowed from the Australian bank.
Again, I'm actually not familiar with it, so I have
this
no
came out
comment.
today. So we basically borrowed 90 million against the TV rights coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So we've taken out a loan already of 90 million against money that's coming in from the club. So as opposed to saying ENIC and the ENIC family, where's the money? It looks like they've borrowed 90 million. But like I said, there is still 112 days till January. And I think a lot changes between those days.
So basically, you're saying maybe we don't have as much money as we think, but we have enough time to get some money, right? Yeah. Not sure.
Exactly. Well, Jack, where are you with it?
I think this is just, I'm going to get money in any type of way I can because I know I'm selling the club eventually.
That's
I
another
think
way.
that's how it is. And there are signs there stating like, hey, this club is going to be sold very shortly. Maybe not this year, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you hear within the next 6 months that a big time investor has come in and put a substantial offer down. And more to your point on 111 days till January.
Yep.
I actually firmly think these next 3 weeks until the next international break is huge to see
Correct.
where we're at as a club, because this is the time where we start playing 2 games every week. And when we start playing 2 games every week, people know injuries happen. So let's really see how much the squad depth has improved with this club. And let's just hope that we don't get injuries like we did last time. Because that will be one thing that will be hard for us to go into January with a substantial amount of injuries and knowing we have more than just the left wing and left center back to improve.
Spot on. I will say with this one, yes, Angus, he is at Austria, but 1,000,000,000% I would have, I'd have him. Louis Campos, I wanted him when we had Jose Mourinho. He should have come in immediately. He'd worked with Jose before, and this man's golden skill is finding young talent for cheap and selling them, or they turn out to be stars, and then the clubs he's been at sold them for millions upon millions upon millions above. He was the perfect director of football under Jose Mourinho, and exactly what Tottenham Hotspur needed. But I call we had to go get Paratici. I always go on about it when I say, remember the movie with Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman? And he has the penthouse, but he's scared of heights. And then she goes, why do you have it? And he goes, it's the best. Then they go to the opera and sit in the best seats up high. And they go, well, it's the best, even though he's scared of heights. That's what Tottenham did with Paratici. They saw the big name, saw the big reputation. It's like, we've got to have him. He's the best. I would have had Louis Campos over Paratici, or it would have been in before Paratici. I think Louis Campos was the exact director of football we needed. Jack, do you know enough about Louis Campos? You're on mute, brother.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Not too much. I don't know enough about him to talk about him.
Okay, so let me just get this top signings. So let me just get this up. So Louis Campos signed for Monaco when he was there. Bernardo Silva, Fabinho, Anthony Martial, Kylian Mbappe, Victor Osimhen, Leao, and Gabriel, that's now at Arsenal for Lille. That's just a few of the players that he's done. So when I say, and Ousmane Dembele, João Neves, and Nuno, and Vitinha, and look at this guy knew where a footballer was.
That's a starting 11 without a goalkeeper,
That
essentially.
they are. I mean, obviously that's done his top sides. They haven't shown the ones that he had missed, but this guy found a player from obscurity, and they were genuine stars.
Yeah.
So there we go. Right, here we go. Bagel, if you want to stop talking about the board, no, it's not. I don't want to stop talking about the board. I'm fine to talk about the board. I'm just saying that I'm prepared to give him a chance right now. This is a new Tottenham. This ain't the ENIC that came in. I've got no problem talking about the board. I just think I understand the pessimism. I understand the wariness. I understand people not trusting them. But I've spent too long getting Levy out or attempting to get Levy out that now it's not an issue. But lineup thoughts for Saturday. Jack, what would your 11 be? What would your 11 be?
Vicario in goal.
Yep.
I would go on the right. I would go Spence, only because Porro has played 2 international games. I believe he played both 90, or if he played part in one, 90 for one. So I would go Spence on the right. I would go Van de Ven, Romero as your center back pairing.
Yep.
Adogi on the left. Paulinho as your 6. Bergval as your 8. Simmons as your 10. And then you would have at your left, you would put Moani, and then you would put Richarlison up top and Kudus on the right. That's what I think he'll go with. Ideally, I would want Moani up top.
Yeah.
With Richarlison and play a back 3 with Danzo, Van de Ven.
Ooh, I you know what? I can't see him playing the back 3 against West Ham, but then I thought he'd play a back 3 against. I think we all thought he'd play a back 3 against Man City. I all I will say, rather than go, I would agree with you. I would play Spence right and Destiny left. I mean, I think the key areas to think about is obviously left back, right back, where Savinho plays, where Moani plays. I think Kudus is going to have the game of games. He is going to be so up for this game on Saturday. I actually think he scores as well. The question is, if Kudus scores, does he celebrate and go nuts because of the treatment he's got, or does he do the no celebration?
He's not going to celebrate. But my question is, Paquetá played left back, which is where Paul would have been last game, and then he moved to Aston Villa. My question is, who is playing left wing for West Ham? Because that will determine if I want Porro there or not. Because if it's a baller, I agree with Jack. If it's not, we should have possession and actually want Porro. So who's going to play left wing for them?
Well, that's the thing. We won't know. We won't know.
What are the options? I have no idea about West Ham.
They could play Bowen there.
No, Bowen is going to play right wing. Because
they could play him on left. But this is the thing. They could say, okay, if Porro's right back, we've seen what Semenyo's done to him. We're playing you on the left. This is the thing. It's a game. I think, like Jack said, Porro has played both internationals. So
and that's a huge deal.
What you got to remember as well, Liran, is this season is all about him managing the minutes correctly. And saying, right, we've got the Champions League and Villarreal on Tuesday. I want you, Porro, playing that game.
Against Solomon, who's going to batter us.
Against Solomon, it could be against my favourite Canadian, Tajon Buchanan. So we shall see. Mate, Julia Roberts could be a United fan, but I had to give that. I had to give that. I agree with you, Sean. Moani has to be up front. Okay, let's see what Scott M is going with. Vicario, Spence, Van de Ven, Romero, Porro. Okay, so he's going Spence left back. Paulinho, Benson Cole. Random fan. Simmons, Kudus.
So where is your doggy, and what does random fan mean? Because he
hates Pape Sarr. He hates Pape Sarr. He hates Pape Sarr.
Why does he hate him? By the
Also,
way,
I say
this is so
dislike.
funny.
Dislikes. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
That's also
Let's just say he's not the biggest Sarr fan. And he's playing Spencer left back rather than random.
That's also why Sarr, I don't think will play this game, is because you'll want him rested for Tuesday, and he's played international games in both.
And he's
I believe,
flying
He
back.
just
well.
won them the game. He's a machine.
So we shall see. Will there be a stall of 8, mate? So do you know what? Let's ask this question. We're not going to go for much longer because I need to get to bed. This was just a last minute thing. Oh, Somerville can go on the left. That's a good point, Romero. Let's just see, people. Where do we feel, all 85 of you? If Kudus scores, does he celebrate? Does he celebrate? I'm going for yes. I'm going for yes. I think.
Why are you going for yes?
What I want to see him do. I want to see him do an Adebayor.
I want him, but do you think
and run and like slide right?
I want him because we stole it from them. But like, do you really think he will?
My Sarr is a lot. He's a lot more than the evolution of Sissoko.
Oh, I forgot about Sissoko. Oh
he's
God.
a lot more. But people, let us know. Do you think Kudus will celebrate when he scores? And remember, I didn't say if he scores. I said when. When he scores, mate. Do you know what? What I would love is if Spurs have made a chair for him with the Spurs logo, and rather than fight, he literally finds a Spurs one.
What if they make a chair of like with the West Ham logo and he sits?
Oh, mate, do you know what? And then he's just kissing the badge. Oh, mate, it'll kick off. It'll kick off. Kudus will fucking score. Damn right, John. Damn right, he'll score. Kudus will sit his ass down on the. Oh, mate, you've got to hope. You've got to hope that he does. But right, guys, listen, we are going to wrap it up there. It's almost 1 o'clock. Boys, don't leave the stream when I am. We'll go into the backstage and just have a chat. First of all, I want everyone to give a lot of love to Jack and Liran on making their debuts on a stream, first time ever. So when you see him in the chat, you'll see Liran by his name Liran, and you'll see Jack as sub to Tottenham on tour for Brian Daigle. They have done. They have been brilliant on their first ever show. Boys, do you have any social media presence where people can find you, or is it just you're in the YouTube chat?
So you can follow me on Instagram if you want at the Sherberg. That's my Instagram.
How do you spell it?
I will type it to you because it's difficult to spell.
Go on then. So Go on, you two.
SCHUR bird.
SCH.
UR bird.
UR bird. There you go. So that's his Instagram. That's his Instagram. Do you know what? Big up. But Joe, what? Just before we go, someone's asked. Big up, Daniel. Big up. Liran, can people follow you anywhere?
I'm just a family man. I'm not really on social media.
There you go. Wise
I
move.
work for a social media company, but I'm just so
wise move. So finally, score predictions. Liran, you first.
I said I think earlier 2-1 us. I think that we will miss a couple of chances. I think 2-1 us.
Okay, Jack.
5-1 is what I said.
Jesus Christ.
I have a feeling it's going to be a battering.
Okay, well, I'm going for 3-1. I'm going for 3-1. Either way, 3 points. Jack reminds you of the Roadman. Roadman is a very dear friend of mine that comes on the channel. You may have seen him, Dave. I just hope we have damn right, John. And do you know what, guys? It's almost been a 3-hour stream. This was very, very last minute because just to bring some happiness and light relief to the horrible, place we are in. So I will say to everyone that joined, have a great morning, evening, wherever you are. Have a great day. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thomas, Frank. Thomas, Frank. And now you get to see it up close for the first time. And as always, Levy has gone. Damn right.